Oh, good. Pour. Just what I like to see when I open the game. Can't say I'm all that shocked, though. Okay, but anyway, we are returned. We will wait out the music as usual, and then we'll get started. What the hell is a requests queue? Oh. Okay, well, those are already done. I guess I can mark these as complete. I didn't know that was there. Interesting. There was, there's another option now in my chat settings. It says review requests queue, and it has all the stretch break, hydration break, all that stuff in it. So really, I was just trying to clear the little pink dot that's in the top right corner of it that's showing that there's new content in it, but I don't think, unless it's like in a submenu or something. Like, I don't see anything that would say, hey, here's new stuff. Like, there's no like pink dot in the subsections to show, hey, here's new stuff. I don't know. I'm as confused as I always am, so nothing new there. All right, here we go. Let's Sudoku. Okay, go. Hey, Colo, how's it going? Welcome back. Didn't know I made Metal Gear Rising remixes back in the day. Yeah, it's actually funny because that's where a lot of people found me, to be honest. That's where a lot of the YouTube popularity anyway came from. So it's just kind of funny to me to hear somebody say, yeah, I didn't know you made those. And it's like, wow. I'm surprised somebody didn't know. Anyway, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, the Stream Edition. Last time, we completed patch 5.1. Got done with the Grand Cosmos, and today, while I wait for Cole, we're going to go do some side quests, and I only have 2 to do between this patch and patch 5.2, so let's get moving. I think the first one is this one right here. Yeah, it is. One final journey. So let's take one final journey with Philomene, shall we? Because we talked to her about her daughter, her surrogate daughter, but now we have to see if she's actually okay. So let's go do that. Nah, it's okay. I kind of just dropped in, so all good. Well, that makes sense. She was your surrogate daughter, after all. Hmm. So, what was the letter about, then? Oh, from an acquaintance of yours. Sure, why not? I'll come with you. Well, I mean, Minfilia meant a lot to the both of us. Oh, well, she meant a lot to you, and you mean a lot to me, so sure, how could I refuse? Hey, Lifeblood, how's it going? Welcome back. Sub buddy! I don't know who's a sub buddy, but sub buddy, welcome. Remixes are great, thank you. I tried very hard on them. They will not ever be perfect, but I tried very hard on them at the time. Okay, I'll meet you at Eshtame's Aesthetics then. So let's go see if Philomene's gonna have a little wake for her surrogate daughter. It's possible. Eshtame's Aesthetics. It's by the Gladiators Guild. Okay. Oh, that's the place where I did my level 50 to 60 goldsmith quests, I think. Yeah. Yeah. The jewelers. Wrong, they are perfect. Well, I'm glad you think so. I can never unhear the teeny tiny little mistakes in each mix, and there's at least one or two in each mix, if not more. But I'm glad to hear somebody thinks they're perfect. Made them like in the actual fight, which is something you always wanted to have but never got. Okay, well then, yeah, if it filled that purpose for you, if it filled that role, then I could see how you would, you know, prop them up pretty highly. So, no, I just got here myself. So who's this acquaintance of yours? Oh, are these the guys from the Miners Guild? I think. Yeah, I was gonna say. Fancy seeing the both of you here. What's the mineral concern doing here? Yeah, that's fair, actually. Minfilia was a miner way back in the day when her and Thancred were orphans on the Uldan streets, so that's probably why they're here. Pay their respects. The waterways that we escaped from, you mean? Right. Yeah, that one. The best moment in a Realm Reborn, yeah. I was gonna say, let me guess, but yeah, there we go. It's the stone that Philomene gifted to her surrogate daughter. Gonna go to an anime convention in May, saving up money to buy things there. Nice. Nice. Hopefully you get enough money saved up so you can buy everything that you want, and hopefully the convention goes well. Try not to get sick. I know that's a hard ask when you go to a convention, but try your best. There are plenty of games whose name you already don't remember that have like changing music. So like dynamic music, like Metal Gear Rising, yeah. But you can't have this. It's either only instrumental or only lyrics. It's not really a mashup of both. That makes sense. Are you gonna cosplay? That'd be cool. You don't have to, but that'd be cool. It was her first mining thing. I can't even remember how difficult Cat's Eye is to dig up, so that's surprising. I thought it was pretty difficult. Maybe I'll look in the gathering log after this to see. She kept it close to her person. It appeared because she was looking for it specifically, I think. Yeah, all we have to do is get all the Scions back here so they can actually, you know, bother with keeping things, you know, peachy on this side of the universe as well. Well, at least you got something to remember her by so that you could bury her, you know, properly. Did we ever find out where her father was buried? Well, we're going to find out now. Changing music is a very common thing, even in older games. Pretty limited, but it existed. Yeah, that's true. Dynamic music isn't like a... It isn't something that's... It's been around for a little while. I guess I could say it that way. It's just... A lot of the times when people post the music online, they don't make it as dynamic. I think that's what Lifeblood is saying, basically, is that, like, when people post the dynamic music online, they don't post it dynamically as it would be in the game, which is something that I did with the Metal Gear Rising remixes, so that made them unique. It made them have a niche that otherwise they wouldn't have had, compared to, like, at that time when I was posting the remixes, there was a bunch of Metal Gear Rising music already on YouTube. Like, the Ultimate One JPSX was posting that stuff all the time. There was several channels that have been deleted since then that had Metal Gear Rising music on them. And I said, okay, well, how can we make this different? And my brother said, hey, so why don't you mix it like it sounds like in the game? I was like, you're a genius. And then that's how it went, so. One of the best uses of changing music is Rayman M with multiplayer races. Yeah, I'd have to look that one up. I haven't seen that one. The only Raymans I've ever played are Origins and Legends, but they were really good, so. They sound so good. I'm glad that people think so. Oh, okay. Well, I know where that is, so. We can take the stone to the church out by the East Gate, Camp Drybone. North of Camp Drybone, really. Bury her next to her dad, and then off we'll go. And Parvati, since you've already started this with me, might as well see it through to the end. There we go. Father Iliad, long time no see. Here with the help of a friend. Yes. I would think so. She never really talked about her father, but if she was following in his footsteps, I would imagine they were kind of close. If I remember right, her father was the Alamegan resistance member that brought them here when they all were refugees, basically. And that's why they ended up on the street, because he didn't have any money. And then he died, so... Well, makes sense if she was following after, you know, practiced after the best. Yeah. She, she put down her mining tools in order to sit in an office and do paperwork all day. Sounds like a great calling. Probably less dangerous. Well, not in our line of work, but normally. If you didn't make it dynamic, you would not have subscribed and you would not have later seen that he was streaming. They're literally responsible for the fact that you're here. Well, fair enough then. I owe them a favor then. Played a Rayman and Kirby demo in a toy shop like 10 years back. So I wonder which Kirby that would have been. If it was 10 years back. Maybe it was Return to Dreamland then? Although I think that was still on the regular Wii. I don't remember if there was a Kirby on the Wii U. But the Rayman you played, if it was on the Wii, it was probably Origins and then Kirby's Return to Dreamland. But I don't know. Rayman M is a half race game and half some brawl game, which is hard to explain. It's like a free-for-all with many weapons in an arena, and the race is where like every character has its own theme playing. Oh, okay, I see. So it like changes depending on their... Maybe it changes depending on their positioning in the race. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, to be fair, I also meanderingly muse a lot, Father Iliad, so it's not anything out of the ordinary here. Okay. I will join you at Warburton's grave. And I guess after the cutscene here, that'll do it. That'll be the end of this side quest. And then we can go back to Yulmore, pick up the other side quest. That one will take a little longer than this one. This one's like 10 minutes. That one's got a dungeon attached to it, so it'll take a little longer. That's okay. Pass up Hildebrand's grave, absolutely, because he doesn't need it anymore. He is not dead. He's only partially dead. He got better. Was there any Final Fantasy XIV news in the Sony Direct? I don't think so. Because right now they're kind of in the middle of like not a dry spot, but like they're in the middle of a drought for content, basically. Like they'll have a new patch coming up in a couple of months, but right now they're kind of mid-patch, so there probably wasn't a whole lot. I think there was news for Final Fantasy XVI, but I don't know anything about that one. I haven't seen any info for it, so I couldn't tell you. Probably, though, because it's not out yet, so they probably had some info. During the brawl, the music's dependent on the arena. Okay, that makes sense. Your ambition killed her father? How do you figure? Or killed her mother? I'm confused. No, she's talking about Minfilia now. So yeah, your ambition killed her father somehow? I don't know. I must have missed something. There must be context from someplace else. Maybe there's supplemental material that I didn't read because stories should be complete within their own work rather than relying on outside info, but maybe it's just a detail that I don't remember that they talked about way earlier in the game. Oh yeah, I did miss something in your explanation. In multiplayer, aka other players are necessary where you have between checkpoints. Okay. The music switches to the character who's in the lead. Okay, so kind of like what I said, just specifically like in certain sections. Alright. Honestly, the music's amazing. You might have nostalgia. Just a little. It's okay, though. Nostalgia's not a bad thing. I'm just glad Philomene's getting to pay her respects because she didn't really get to do that before this. Again, Minfilia has been dead since Heaven's Ward. So I don't know why they're talking about... Again, I don't understand why they're specifically being like, no, well, that was actually her as the Oracle of Light back in the first... It's like, no, you specifically said in Heaven's Ward that she was dead. So, like, I don't know what you want from me. Anyway, rest now, Minfilia. You don't have to worry about the fandom disliking you anymore. Because the fandom definitely didn't like you back when you were alive, so... I want to start playing Phantasy Star Online 2 again, but damn, the 100 or more gigabytes is a challenge. Oh man, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of space for one game. Yeesh. Hey Marie, how you doing? Welcome back. You remember this quest you did the other week? Yeah, I'm just doing it for the first time myself, so... Again, I'm just glad that Philomene gets to pay her respects because her daughter's been dead for like 2.5 X-Packs now, so it's about time they remembered that she would feel some grief by it. Can do. I'm sure they'll be glad to hear from you. Hey, what are friends for, right, Philomene? One of the most interesting terms is the war in heaven, describing a battle between gods. You really like that term, the war in heaven. Sounds very anime. That gets a chapter in New Game Plus? I wonder if it's more than just that one quest. Huh. Interesting. Wasn't it using the lyrics for the fierce battle on SMT3 Nocturne? You know, I wouldn't be shocked. They did have a lot of heaven and hell stuff in the lyrics for Nocturne. Stretch break. I'm stretching. Ugh. They did have a lot of heaven and hell lyrics in that. Sometimes it's hard to like remember what the lyrics actually are from Nocturne though, because they're so crunchy from the auto not auto text. What did they use for that? They used like an old Mac computer text-to-speech software to create it. And it's a very interesting way to make lyrics. But sometimes it makes it hard to hear because it's so compressed, you know. So. Call redeemed hydration break. I'll do a hydration break. I just took a little sip, but I'll take another little sip. Water tastes particularly good today. Probably from what I ate yesterday. Heard from a newcomer friend that he only had offhand knowledge of this game, and he referred to Philomene as the worst mother ever. You have no idea where this knowledge came from, but she did her fucking best. I don't know, she didn't seem like a bad character to me, but I guess some people have their way of putting it, I suppose. Cole, are you ready to come into the chat now that you redeemed a hydration break? Because you can also meet me here in Yulmore if you want to pick up this quest, unless you're quote-unquote busy in the empty. But we'll talk about that in a second, if you're busy in the empty. He's ready. So let's bring him in. There he is. Oh, hi.
Hola.
So are you busy in the empty? And by that I mean, are you gonna level machinist while I do academia, or do you want to come with me?
I mean, I can do... Wait, isn't Academia Nighter a fucking main story dungeon?
No, it's one of the two optional ones. Completely unnecessary.
I'll level while you do Academia then.
Okay. So you level machinist and go do Pixie Quest while I go do Academia and Nighter. And specifically to get to Academia and Nighter, I need to talk to this Ando.
I'll definitely unlock it though, just for giggles.
Yeah, I mean, just so you have it for roulettes, you know, give you something extra. First time bonus.
Yo.
What do you need help with? Did the Clutch Mother have a problem after her pregnancy? Oh, really? Huh. I wonder what that could be. So you think I can enter the land of the ancients? I mean, I could, technically speaking. And maybe we'll find some stuff out here. The clerk in the Amarat's Bureau of the Administrator might shed some light on it. Well, then that sounds like where we'll go. Let's go back to the Macarensis angle, shall we? That is a giant boat. It's very destroyed at the moment, but it is in fact a giant boat, yes. YouTuber found out that the Another God Rejected lyric was wrong, and it was something about a war breaking out in heaven. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. Again, the kind of game it is, I'm not really shocked by those lyrics.
Yeah, but you know the community is not going to let any other definition other than one more God Rejected be the actual lyric. They will will it into existence for the memes.
I mean, I suppose. Actually, I think it's in this side building, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay. Fun fact, you saw in like the YouTube video for the Omega fight where someone overanalyzed the lyrics, which is one of the funniest things on the internet, in my opinion. Did you finally see the Chicken Tenders lyrics version of Omega's theme, Lifeblood? Because a lot of people can't get the Chicken Tenders version out of their head.
Endies.
Just wait until you hear from Big Fat Tacos. Is it Big Fat Tacos, Cole? You've done that raid. Well, not raid. Trial. Anyway.
Which one?
Let's talk to one of the ones we're going to be doing coming up soon, so we'll hear it then. No, and you don't plan on it, and you don't want to. You like the normal one just fine. That's fair. It's probably better then that you don't find out the chicken tender version, because then it'll be memed to hell and back, and your brain won't be able to unsee it. You guys are creating new fauna even though you're stuck in a dream realm? How does that even work? Okay. Let's go south of this building and see if this mystery beast is in that administrative office. Alright. Bureaucracy! Well, Parvati, it's been you and me all day today, so let's keep it up. Let's go see what else they've got going on down here. It's down, so that means probably we go this way. Let's see. Yeah. It's this building to my right, but I have to find the actual entrance, so. Okay. Academia, academic. It makes sense. Don't even know how people heard that. Like, you admit you can't understand the lyrics that well yourself and can't remember them either, but come on, people. Yeah, I don't know. I think somebody just memed it into existence and it was so popular that it just stuck. I don't know. My Hero Academia is our hero inside the academia. Let's find out. But Rory's out here. Yes, I have the residency papers still if you need them. Well, I've been told that an archbeast is terrorizing the neighborhood, and I want to find out if there's any stuff here about it. And also look at all the rest of your research to see if they can tell me anything about how I can get my friends home. Because yes, that was the original reason why I came here.
Fuck, I need water before I do this shit. Ugh, shit.
You should go get water.
Oh, I have water right here.
There you go. It was misheard and got popular AF, yeah, for the lyrics, yeah. You're once again disappointed in humanity. Currently channeling your Super Saiyan crafter prowess using Trained Finesse because you have so much CP. I don't even know what Trained Finesse does. Is that like a level 90 skill? Like, I know what was the one? Trained Eye, I think it is. That's the one that maxes quality. But I don't know Trained Finesse. Oh, your head researcher is in residence. Okay. Well, that might help. I will attempt not to touch anything, because if I do, I might upset the balance and create a time paradox in Emmett Selk's now dead mind. Okay, sounds like a plan. Thank you for escorting me. But does Emmett Selk dream of electric sheep while he's dead? Let's find out, because Academia Niter is now accessible. It's the level 90 skill. It increases quality without touching your durability, but you need 10 stacks of inner quiet. Holy shit. That is a lot of inner quiet. Snake, what are you doing? You're creating a time paradox. I know. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so Cole said he's going to be busy in the empty while I go do this stuff. So, Marie, did you want to join for Academia, or am I going solo? I don't mind flying solo. I'm on the class that, whatchamacallit. I'm on the class that'll make my queue the shortest, so. No, it's not a solo dungeon. Although you can do dungeons solo, if you so choose. You can do dungeons with less than 4 people. If you go to the Duty Finder settings up here, and you click Unrestricted Party, that means you can enter it with whatever your party looks like right now. You don't need to wait for other people, you'll just go in like that. Now granted, the enemies will kick your ass if you're in a dungeon that's at the same level as you, but if it's a lower level dungeon, you can just go in as much as you want, so. I've done that to get, not crafter stuff, glamour before, personally, so. You're gonna be crafting your retired, aka you finished Endwalker. Alright, fair enough. You've had enough,
How'd you enjoy the finale of Endwalker, Marie?
That makes sense. Alright, Academia I go. Oh look, insta-queue. Bam boom. Okay, before I click on the queue, I just want to show this. So this is a level 80 dungeon, so it's a level multiple of 10. This is my emergency tactics button. This is my dissipation button. If I have to click either of those during this quest, something has gone very wrong in the healing. But we shall see just how wrong things go as we go into the research facility. Ooh, Rory would like it in here. Look at all the botany. Did they lose radio frequency for a second?
As I'm sitting here doing my main scenario roulette, I'm watching another Discord chat just erupt with a story of my friend Pippi telling the story about how the mail that she was getting of her copy of Omega Ruby not only ended up at the wrong building because of the courier, it also ended up on the other side of the city.
Oh my god. Alright, let's get Eos in here.
Oof,
Alistair,
indeed.
don't run off without me. Let me adlo you first and then sprint to you.
Loki dokie.
There we go.
That's a fucking Lalafell name.
Artichoke.
On God.
They have the Fisher title that you get for getting all of the fancy stuff for Fisher, the fancy level 50 stuff. So, alright, I've planted my feet. Let's do an elimination. Do one of these. Since you're not moving, I'll set my sacred down. I don't even need to use Fate Blessing. I might use it anyway just to get it on cooldown. Eh, maybe not. Wow. Okay. Water spout someplace else. And
You use your sacred soil. I don't have to disown you.
Yeah, no, Sacred Soil is busted at or above 78. It gives a regen and it gives a tank cooldown at the same time. Yes, please. Oh, look, a visitor's guide. I'll read it later.
Engendered.
Yeah, I'm not a researcher, so I don't know what that means. Oh, I can use Fey Blessing now.
Okay, good. I got ultimate weapon. Fucking hell. I don't like spending a massive amount of time in this bullshit.
I don't know why I'm using this. They've still got an XCOG, so... Wait for it.
I don't have reassembled drill!
Yeah, not at that level. You do need
Why
to
do I
get
even have reassembled if I don't have drill? You should get them at the same time.
You have reassemble for clean shot at that level, or hot shot. But you should get machinist to 80 before Friday's stream. Do you know why?
Oh, I know why.
Yes, of course you know why. There's only one reason. Ooh, look at all the enemies I get to poison.
Fuck.
Wow. Which one's not poison? You're not poison. And do this. The autos should pop the XCOG. Okay, it didn't. Do this. Wait for the XCOG to pop and then deploy my own thing. Whoa. Okay, I guess I'll just do this. The eliminate pop fell off. Oh well. Not bad. Sorry, I haven't been looking at chat because Cole's not in here. I don't have the ability to shitpost as much as usual.
So fun facts with Cole. If you pop your Rook auto turret when new ultimate weapon granted in turn mints you, the auto attack fails and you get a constant pop-up that says this action cannot be executed because your auto turret cannot auto ultimate weapon.
Oh. Well.
I'm learning things!
Street Sharks. Also another Street Shark. I don't know if anybody's going to know what a Street Shark is. I don't know if any of you are old enough to know what a Street Shark is.
I know what it is.
Where's the
Because
other
I get
guy?
that reference. I understood that reference.
Hey. I'm going to stand, like, over here, I think. Oh, okay.
Cole, be ashamed of yourself. You don't play games to learn.
Ooh, quite a glance. Luna, you might want to... No, you had a Radiant Aegis, it's fine. Hey, Seraph, want to help out? Consolate my friends. But yeah, when you see the Street Shark on the outside, stand to the side of them, because generally speaking, they will hit the middle of the arena. Like that.
My reassembled hotshot does a whole 500 damage!
Hey! Okay, so stand over here. One of these these down. You really should stand in the sacred when you're going to get hit by that. I know you're trying to drag it away from people, but stand in the regen. And now we wait. You've spent 5 fucking days trying to make the beast spawn in the Tempest. Oh, yeah, because the beast that they're talking about is Archaeo Tanya. It's the S rank of this area. So, but you spent 5 days trying to spawn it. Never worked. Beat this game. Certified MMO moment. That is true. Water Spout's not useful unless Kyogre uses it. Amount of Scholar players that don't touch Sacred Soil hurts you. Yeah, it's kind of weird that they, especially at or above 78, like they should be using it. It's one of their best cooldowns. So, I don't know why they wouldn't want to. Sorry if I missed other chat. I'm in the middle of hogging people. Oh, you can keep going. Oh, there we go. Here comes the rest. Did you get the elimination? You sure did. Good. These. Another one of these. That. I don't know why they need all this, but it's okay. Worse breath, huh? Well, I've heard of awful breath, but this is just ridiculous. Yeah, just top you off at the end of the pull.
Considering I see thousands of damage numbers in the thousands value, I don't think that's good, Cole. Well, to be fair,
Well,
I am restricted.
Yeah, and where Cole is, he's restricted to level 50 and below, so he does significantly less damage at the moment because of the fact that he's lower on level.
I feel like my wings have been clipped.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Oh, I drew aggro. With Biolysis. Never mind.
Biolysis.
I don't even know why I'm rolling for these. It's not like I'm gonna need them. Okay, put that down. Do one of these so that when that catalyze pops off, I can spread mine out. Like, now. And now the tank shouldn't need healing for the rest of the pull. Actually, that's not true. I'll probably need one more Adlo. I might even lustrate, honestly, because then at least I get some of my gauge down. There. Alright, sweet. Oh, good. Morball Marquee. Just what I wanted to see when I turned the corner today. Another one of these things. Looks like he has an untelegraphed buster, unless I just wasn't paying attention, which is possible. Extends little tendrils. So watch the telegraph on that. Also, I need to get out of the front of him. So you saw where all those mouths were? I don't want to stand there, because if it's anything like the last guy, he's going to breathe on me after that's all over with. Can I heal concussion? Hang on, get out of the way first. Yep. Sweet. I'll heal it again. Do I want to eliminate? Yeah, I might want to. Yeah, see, he spits up where his front is. So that's gross. Place Seraph right in there real quick. These. Blossom.
Blossom.
Okay, so don't stand on those now. Harbor Storm. I'm gonna guess that's, yeah, AoE. That makes sense. Tendrils again. I'll go over here. Why not? Oh, that really isn't getting used, huh? Spread out! Maybe not like that, but that's okay. You've got an axe cog, so it's probably fine. Let's see if I can place this just right. Yep. here. Chain strats back in 6 seconds. I'm not getting spit up on. That's good. Go. Probably blossoming the other flowers this time, if I had to guess. Oh, yeah, the other flowers. You know what? I'll E-Tactics, why not? Nothing has gone wrong, but I'll E-Tactics anyway, because I don't feel like doing an in-down.
What could possibly go wrong?
It's the end of the boss fight anyway, so... Where all those mouths were. You realize how stupid it is when you look at that. I suppose he kind of had mouths in a lot of places, didn't he? Alright, Colo, good luck on your math exam. Hopefully you do well in it. I'm sure you will anyway. Don't need luck, you have knowledge. Yes, get some sleep so that way you're in good shape for it.
Good news, everyone.
You're level 78?
No.
Oh.
I was gonna say, since Colo was thinking about playing 14, I didn't want to say anything, but now, Marie, you can talk about Endwalker without hesitance on stream!
Hey. That one's
Since
good.
everyone here either doesn't care or knows already.
Let's place this right here. Get the illumination going. There you go. Hey, look, it'll add to their aurora as well. I love it when a plan comes together. Five seconds for the whisper. There you go. Just gotta get it in under, okay. Just gotta get it in under the same, whatchamacallit. Hang on. Let me get this under control first there. You gotta get a Whispering Dawn in under Fey Illumination so that it gets the maximum effect, basically. You stop that Nahaween Toshur, sir. We don't need that anymore.
We don't do that here.
Nope. I'll take my 30 Fey Union with me. Has anybody been rolling on these? I haven't been paying enough attention. Oh well. Doesn't matter to me. You have to finish a chapter day, but the stream's stopping you. I apologize for stopping your creative process. Hopefully it isn't stifled for too long. To be fair, after this, it's basically just going to be story stuff for the entire stream, so... We probably won't even do another dungeon, honestly.
Ah, good.
I don't even think we're going to get that far. Let's see. There. Double. Actually, that's a triple regen there, so that'll help.
Triple!
Yeah. Oh, baby. A triple. Hey, Seraph, want to help out? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to consolate once because we just got hit by an AoE, but I'm not going to touch consolation during a trash pull. I thought about this and I said, you know, why am I touching consolation in the middle of a trash pull? Seraph casts a miniature Adloquium every 3 seconds as long as I don't touch any buttons, so I might as well just let her go off. There we go. Love this theme so much that you broke your rule for how much you want to pay for Orchestrions. Yeah, I saw you say that you bought it for, what, 400k? Yeah, no shame. Okay,
Also,
we've mapped out
I bought the level 83 dungeon music for less than 2k on my server.
There you go. Quetzalcoatl,
Play
that's
that
not
market.
Archaeotania. Just waiting for the Force Your Way theme to start playing again.
But yes, Marie, you can talk about Endwalker on stream now. My brother doesn't care and I've beaten it. And by my brother doesn't care, I mean he doesn't care yet. He will.
It's a Guardian Force. I don't know why, but it's a Guardian Force. Like, it's one for one the Guardian Force from Final Fantasy VIII. Which, if you didn't know that the Eden quests were going to be Final Fantasy VIII related at this point, well, you're finding out now.
Aren't Quetzalcoatl good entities? Usually.
Typically speaking, yes. In this case,
And a winged snake.
Not so much.
I mean, we did get a winged snake earlier in the Omega raids.
Yeah, we had Alta right. So. Ooh, I know what these do. Damage up! I'll leave one for the ninja. I'm a nice person.
It's just a Zapdos. Also, on the low, this boss has an enrage.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll find out. Smile.
I'll take this, and I'll take this, and you take that. I'm gonna sure cast this. It didn't work! Okay, time to run. But yeah, you gotta stand inside the hitbox, or you will die very quickly from that. Let's see.
How does the fight take long enough to enrage?
No, I'm gonna Loki Doki panic real quick. Just in
Loki
time.
Doki panic. Took me a minute.
Hey. I'll get this one.
Thank you for the cards, Astra. I appreciate you boosting my pitiful DPS.
Damn, dude.
Maybe if I wasn't restricted, held down, chained.
Oh, look, I can do this again. I gotta tell you, having less spell speed, I feel like is really helping on Scholar, because before, one of the reasons, I think, why I was having so much trouble keeping my MP intact was because of the fact that I had like 1100 spell speed while synced to level 70 content, and that makes me cast like almost 30% faster than I'm casting right now, which kind of eats my MP like crazy. So, yeah. This is a much more comfortable speed for me.
Level 78!
There we go. Nice.
Enhanced Wildfire.
I'm gonna get Seraph in here. Why not? Just in case anybody's standing in it. Alright, consolate my friends, please. Oh good, the regen will take underneath the shield. Perfect. Well, that was almost bad. So if I slot this guy into my accessory slot, do I get card junction now? Good job, team. I am not sad from this. Stop that shit. Oh, there's nobody here. Good job, Eos. We did it. See, that wasn't so bad. Alright, let me see what I missed in chat after I exit from the dungeon so it doesn't kick me. Although, you know what I could do? Is I could go back and read all the research notes. Nah, I can do that in Explorer mode. A lot of it kind of talk... Well, you know, I should go read at least one of them, because... Well, it doesn't talk about... Well, okay, so it says the words of La Habrea there, so that should tell you who the researcher was here. Although maybe I should go read one so I can see who his assistant was. Thing kind of looked like the Secret Heartless boss fight in KH1. Yeah, like Phantom, kind of, actually. It was just, you know, glowing yellow instead of Phantom's normal colors.
Which was death.
Actually, it was light blue. The instances of spontaneous creation occurring in the lands across the ocean are now a confirmed phenomenon. Seemingly unguided by conscious will, these aberrations are said to manifest as malformed beasts of nightmarish aspect and unrestrained ferocity. High-ranking phantomologists, because that's a thing now, have since been dispatched to afflicted areas where they conducted the capture and transport of a single entity. Did you guys not watch Jurassic World? That's a terrible idea. Or The Lost World Jurassic Park. This specimen, characterized by a disproportionately large maw, was dubbed Archaeotania, and investigations into its etheric composition are ongoing, so it got out of the cage, apparently. A theory posited by the esteemed La Habrea suggests that the shape these fiendish beings assume is not random, but rather an amalgamation of the fears which lurk beneath our rational minds. As of this writing, researchers have begun pursuing methods by which potent guardians of deliberate design might be engendered to stand against this mounting threat. And then the rest of the guardians got out, because this place is not well kept, apparently. Also, this Amarotan ring of aiming is mine, and nobody can do anything about it because I didn't open the chest, even though I saw it. Alright, let me get out of here, and then I'll read chat, so that way I'm not missing anything. That's just a bird. That's just a Zapdos. Let's see here. What else did I miss? This team is fucking dope. Don't know how much you finished multiplayer because you just couldn't bother. Cool, they didn't make us kill a baby. You're so fucking happy. Oh, I'm glad. That would have been a very bad thing if they made you kill a baby. Amount of Scholar players that never touch that button hurts you. Yeah, I know. A lot of people, like, malign it below 78, and so then you just never end up not, touching it until you get there, and it's like, oh, okay. And then you have to get muscle memory for touching it then. So... Cole, be ashamed of yourself. You don't play games to learn. I don't know. I think he kind of does. He plays Elden Ring.
It's okay. You'll learn one day.
Reassembled drill is the best kind of drug. Yep, Grand Company seals. One of your two friends gave up in 14 again after 2 days. The gear you made him as a gift can go to someone else now. Not upset, just sad that you spent a weekend and 200,000 Grand Company seals making all that shit. That is a lot of Grand Company seals, yes. So I would be a little upset if they gave up after 2 days, too. Don't worry, Cole. If it's any consolation, your wings were never that large. I mean, he's not playing White Mage, so he doesn't get angel wings. He just gets them when he uses his teleport as a sage, so...
On God.
Anyway, Lifeblood has to shitpost, that's why he is still here. But yeah, Quetzalcoatl's normally a good entity, just not in this case. You want to fight the big boy fates for Shadowbringers? Yeah, it's just hard to spawn them, I guess, so... How does this fight take long enough to enrage? I've never seen it, so I don't know.
So there is a mechanic in this fight where a bunch of lightning orbs come down, and then all of the AoEs kind of expand.
Mm-hmm.
And then the boss... Correct. And the reason why I call it an enrage is I remember when this dungeon came out, one of those rotations, the boss does a big-ass AoE right after that. And if you're not fast enough to outrun them, which nobody was on fucking release because nobody knew how the fucking mechanic worked or where the safe spot would be, you would get hit with the dot and get nailed. And it's a tick.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you were at below a certain HP threshold, because everybody had gear from the last thing, that AoE was basically guaranteed to kill everyone.
Ah, I could see that being a problem. So it's like a soft enrage, kind of.
It's like a soft enrage, just because on content that dungeon fucking hurt.
Yeah. When Monica shows up in this game, you'd lose your shit. Well, that's Doki Doki Literature Club. I was referring to Doki Doki Panic, which is the Japanese version of Super Mario Bros. 2, wasn't it? Or am I thinking of something else? Like, not the Lost Levels Super Mario Bros. 2, like the actual one that they overwrote for the US and turned it into a Mario game because it would sell better than a Doki Doki game, I think. When did I get genre savvy enough to know about Doki Doki Panic? Oh, that's just, you know.
That's just because Jimmy's old.
I am old, so I know these things. Slightly traumatized from spending 200,000 Grand Company seals that fucking quickly? Yeah, I would be too. That's a ton. If Cole is God, then that explains a lot of shit in this world. I mean, at the rate Rory's going, it won't be very long.
Damn. Damn, Lifeblood. You didn't have to go that hard. Fucking just killed me in real life with a Glock 18.
Oh, no. Well, I found out what the beast is. All of the above are things I'd... Oh, okay, I can ask all of them. Good. So the scholars, I guess, have turned into monsters, because one of the research notes probably talked about that. You decided to experiment on yourselves? Shape-changing. So you use creation magics and shape changing at the same time. Whoops. Uh-huh. The experiments got out of their cages. We saw that part. Usually prefer miniguns, but you felt merciful today. Yeah, they don't give you a minigun on Machinist yet.
Yet.
Unfortunately. It sucks because, who was the guy that was the boss in Doma Castle? The one that was an obstacle rather than a character. Grinawat, that's it, yeah. He has a minigun. But he's not a machinist, so... Even though he used chainsaw at that level, too. His chainsaw worked
I have to wait until level 90 to get my chainsaw.
His chainsaw worked a little different, though. It was like a sustained damage thing, like flamethrower.
Unrelated, I fucking called it.
Well, Machinist's...
I called being able to use chainsaw at level 90.
Machinist's kit was basically the tools from Edgar's toolkit in Final Fantasy VI, so chainsaw didn't seem that out of the ordinary. They just repurposed it because Chainsaw's instant death mechanic in Final Fantasy VI would probably be a little broken in this game.
I also called Chainsaw being a gap closer before the expansion came out.
Just jump at them with the chainsaw.
Yeet!
Chainsaw! Maybe they were more potent? What resourcefulness? They probably killed anyone in there that, well, you guys aren't alive, technically speaking, so... Here's the real question. Why are these things still around, considering Emmett is dead now? Like, wouldn't these things fade out of existence? I didn't know that La Habrea was much of an academic. He seemed very egomaniacal when I last talked to him. Yeah, the only one that could match him is the person who undersigned on his research papers in there. Somebody named Helmeret. I wonder who that guy is. Well, I found out what I needed to know about Archaeotania. I didn't find out anything I needed to know about getting my friends home, though, but I suppose the Asians didn't know about that, so this was kind of a fruitless journey to begin with. Helped the Ondo, though, so that's nice. No, I'm pretty sure it spawns somewhere else. Like, as in not inside Academia Uniter. Isn't that exactly what I've been telling you about? The researchers died or turned into monsters? Okay, bye then. Well, that's just great. Let's just hope that Archaeotania thing doesn't show up very often. Machinist is just the final girl of every horror movie. Or at the end of, what's it called? A Grindhouse film where they just pull all of the DACA out. Just pull all of the machine guns out.
Brrr.
Shred everything. Am I just going back to that Ondo? I am just going back to that Ondo. Back to Yulmore, then. So, Cole, did you do your Pixie quest as well as the MSQ roulette?
I'm currently in Malik as well.
Okay.
Why? Because I have no self-control.
It's just an orc from 40k. Looks about as handsome, and I use handsome very loosely as an orc from 40k. I don't actually know what orcs from 40k look like, but I imagine they're not very handsome. Well, here's the thing about soothing the Rancor of the Ancients. The Rancor of the Ancients is Archaeotania, but it spawns so infrequently, you guys have nothing to worry about. Just trust me.
Jimmy being aware of MMO mechanics in Canada is fucking terrifying. It implies he can peer beyond the fourth wall.
I mean, we know that's true already. I just don't do it very often because, or don't use it to, or rather, I don't abuse the power very often because it's not something that I need to do.
I don't misinform, I just lie.
Well, you can think on a strategy if you want, but I'll see what I can do to help you, but again, I don't think you guys have anything to worry about. It takes like 12 fucking fate chains in order to spawn the thing, and there's just a chance that those fate chains will even spawn, so... Anyway, that's supposed to tell you about Archaeo Tanya if you didn't know about it before. But, again, he spawns so infrequently, there's no real reason to even concern yourself with him. So, yeah, like an orc, Dingus. He does, in fact, look like an orc. I kind of figured. They don't usually make orcs very handsome. Okay, so I'm going to switch to Ninja because I'm going to play Summoner in the next dungeon that we're going to go to, but, well, we're not going to that dungeon probably today.
Alright, Lifeblood, opinion. Are orcs, like, the best faction in Warhammer?
There you go.
Opinion time.
And that's the patch 5.2 dungeon right there. We'll worry about that later. Where does the next quest start anyway? Is it back in the first? Or not the first, the source? It is back in the source. Well, back to Mordana
So
then.
Jimmy.
Yes.
I'm gonna talk about Warhammer because it's funny.
Oh, okay.
Do you know why the orcs are the best faction next to the Tyranids?
Why are they the best faction?
Because in the grim darkness of the far future, where war is everything, death, destruction, and violence are everything, the orcs are the only fucking faction left that are having fun.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before, actually.
They are specifically hilarious because they just don't take anything seriously. They just like fighting.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see what new threats and old enemies are waiting for us, because Kryle will tell us, maybe, about them.
Ah, I see you're going on the main story without me. How dare you?
To be
I
fair,
say as I skip every cutscene.
To be fair, you read faster than me, so you'll get past this stuff a lot faster.
He fucking reached Orc Valhalla? I forgot about that!
Okay, so our friends are still stable, but hopefully we have enough time to actually get them out of there. Yeah, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Oh, Maxima. Good to see you. How goes the Popularis?
The other based Garlean.
Oh yeah, this is Kryle of the Students of Baldesia. I should have introduced you when you came in. You know Tataru already. Oh, okay. I was going to say, you're offering them counsel even though they left the Gimlet Dark already? What is the urgent news? Yeah, I imagine a lot of the Legionnaires have been called back because now all of them want the throne.
Can't blame them.
Oh, really?
Oh, you mad lad!
So what kind of growing danger are we talking about here? Oh, okay.
I'm calming this healer at the end of this dungeon. Holy shit, that was cool.
What did they do?
Saw the tank was going to die, recognized they didn't have any cooldowns, swift casted before they went down, and insta-raised them.
Nice.
Fucking genius!
Tell Tosca's story, Cole. That's better than you typing it.
I shall.
Once Cole has his faculties because he's in a dungeon.
And also once I remember the details of Tolska's story.
Okay, sounds like we're headed to the Alamegan Quarter to check out this new threat that I definitely won't be able to stop by myself. I'm gonna have to get Commander Pellegrin back from the first before I can do that. Alright, Tataru, I'll be back once I figure out what the hell's going on.
I need to get back Commander Pellegrin. I feel like listening to you call her that would fucking swell her ego so much.
That's why I only say it when she's not here.
Damn.
Because she doesn't need the ego boost. But I'm going to tell the whatchamacallit, I'm going to tell the soldier, because there's an optional set of quests that open up from doing this quest, if I recall correctly. And I don't want to do them until Cole is actually present, so... And by Cole's present, I mean the actual Rory, not the auspice one we've been using. We need the actual military tactics Rory that currently only exists in the first, so...
What is your opinion on Trazyn the Infinite? He is the best Necron. Hands down, I think my favorite part about Trazyn is that he has a weapon that could end the war in the Chaos Marines' favor. So there's just this squad of Chaos Marines he's been keeping in an infinite loop inside of a labyrinth because the solution is to not take the weapon. But since they're Chaos Marines, they have to take the weapon because they want to end the war and destroy the Imperium. So he keeps them in an infinite loop.
Hmm.
Why? Because he can.
Well, if it isn't Gaius Van Baelsar, to what do I owe the pleasure? I don't know.
You're surprisingly casual with the man who tried to kill you on multiple occasions.
He got better. We saw him in the burn at the end of Stormblood, and he was like, "No, I'm better. I've been killing Ascians." And I was like, "Oh, cool, man."
Based.
Not that I understand half of it. When the science spoke of other worlds, I struggled to describe what I pictured.
It was probably more boring than what you pictured.
Mayhap things would seem clearer were I to hear the tale.
Do you know some of his fan-made objects in the vault? I do not.
The situation will not afford us that luxury.
Yeah, I don't exactly have time to explain it. My friends are on borrowed time, apparently.
I trust you two require no introduction.
You don't say.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea.
How many more have you killed since the last time I got here? Like, it feels like, again, they're forgetting what happened previously in the story, where it was like, no, we met him. And we already did this song and dance of me being like, oh, you're a threat. Like, we already did this.
To be fair,
why am I doing it
he
again?
tried to kill you.
Yeah, but we already did this, and we already smoothed it over when we talked to him in the burn. Why are we doing it again?
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows and brought more than 2 companions.
Yeah, that's true.
We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
I mean, I was already there, but my character apparently says otherwise. This is part of the agency thing that I talked about in 5.0, where the character does things that don't make sense to what you want them to do.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid
See,
the
it's
world of
weird
black
because they're
rose
like
and
giving you the
rats.
character agency of not trusting Gaius, which was an option back in the burn, but there was also an option to trust him back in the burn.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like reverse of what you're used to because usually they go with the you trust this person option, but in this case you don't.
Yeah, even though you should, because we've literally already smoothed this whole thing over, like, at this point about 100 hours ago. And we would have heard that he literally helped to destroy the Black Rose factories already, so, like, what's wrong with me? I know this, I just nodded about it, so what's wrong with me?
Where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand.
Yeah, I heard about that part,
Being
too.
the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence,
Not that they would have
we were
believed you
then
anyway.
forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape.
Well, we already saw Estinian,
When
so
we
I guess
were
you
later
got out a little
reunited,
later, huh?
Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of
We had to
machina
take a
during
different
his
route
flight.
considering that he's
But to
currently
me, his
accused of
description
murdering the
seemed
Emperor.
anything but. And upon further investigation, I found that I was right.
So what's this new kind of machina?
The Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
Oh. Well, that could be a problem. I mean, the last one wasn't that tough
What, that
compared to my
elegant
current
monstrosity
strength, but...
created to vanquish primals, with which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea.
Oh no, the consequences of my actions coming back to bite me. And by me, I mean
The
Gaius.
same. In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing.
To be fair, after you tried to harness its power, your voice box got better from whatever cold you had at the time, so...
But you know as well as I how that tale ended.
Yeah.
The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets. And that should have been the end of it.
Let me guess, they took the carcass of the weapon back to Garlean HQ and then started developing on it.
But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit. Primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
It would be the 7th, wouldn't it?
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at
I feel like
Cartano,
if you said the
along with
7th
its
Imperial
defectors.
Legion around Rory, she would spit.
Indeed. Few survived.
Well, pretty soon we'll be
The
able to do
7th,
that.
as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanis, and its leadership has changed hands several times since. Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery.
Sounds like we need to go find out. And that'll be the focus of this
What
patch.
we do
No,
know,
not
however,
really.
is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like an immediate threat that I can get
We attempted to stop
overly enthusiastic
but it was all
about.
we could do to slow its progress, so we resolved instead to bring you warning.
Uh-huh.
And right glad are we that you did. Though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
Well, don't count your chickens before they hatch, Maxima. The rainy season is happening in the Gimlet Dark now, so they might get mired in the mud for a little while.
As it is, we've begun to strengthen.
Meanwhile,
our
in the
presence
Gimlet Dark, why did we
and we're
put
assembling
tracks
a
on this
force
thing
to meet
anyway?
the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope.
I don't know if I'm the one you want vanguarding it. I don't know how to dismantle Machina, Roban. I need to get your commander back.
Before you say
She'd be the spearhead you'd
I know
want.
full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them. But the fact remains that you and you alone have faced the Ultima weapon and emerged victorious.
Damn, Roban, don't gotta throw shade on your commander like that. What would she say? I sense the presence of a powerful mark. I guess Ixion's
And
around
so,
or something.
when the time comes, if your comrades can
Ixion
spare
casually.
you, I bid you
Just
lend us
spawns
your
in a
strength.
cutscene.
I've assigned
Casually.
an officer to await your word.
Actually, that might not be Ixion. That just tells me there's an S rank somewhere in the locks. So if anyone's on Goblin and wants to
Ascian's
fight the
downfall
S
was
rank
through
in the
the work of
locks,
my
there you
remaining
go.
days. But it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further.
We get to collaborate with Gaius to destroy these new Ultima weapons. I'm on board.
I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all. Even if it means begging your aid. The Fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
Thankfully for you, I'm not going to hold it over your head.
I too shall make for the border and offer my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
Sounds like a plan, Maxima. Just make sure the Populares don't force their hand too much. You guys need to be around to take control of things in Garlemald once we get this all settled.
We can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon. Our friends' plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first.
Sounds like I know the order of
I only
operations
hope you are
then.
not forced to make a choice.
Well, they don't force you to make a choice, even though this new Ultima weapon could be the focus of this entire patch, but it's not. They just make it into a side quest that you can choose to do or choose to ignore forever, so yeah. He has an orc that doesn't want to fight, a copy of Battletoads, 100% reliable knowledge on the Alpha Legion, and Samus's armor, just to name a few, in his vault. This is Trazyn the Infinite that he's talking about. So, there you go, Cole. Can't wait till you nope out of this. I'm going to nope out of this temporarily, because again, I need to get Rory back here. She'd be a better spearhead for this because she can dismantle these Machina. She'd know how to take them apart better. So, once we get her back, we'll think about doing this one. Am I going to force her to do this one? No, I'll probably go with her. I already forced her to do something she didn't want to do. I will confer with you right now, because I'm going back anyway. Okay, sounds like a plan. I will head back to the first then, and take care of that first, and then once we take care of that, we can start Ruby Doomsday. Sounds like a great time. Alright, my return's not up, so let's use some of these 392 Aetheryte tickets I still have. You have a surprise for me once the stream suggestions open. Think of it as a commemorative gift. Oh, there you go. Is Cole still here?
Yeah.
Lifeblood was asking if you heard what he said about Trazyn the Infinite.
Oh, sorry, I was in a dungeon. I wasn't looking at chat. I'll look at it once I'm back at my computer.
Oh, okay. There
I'm
you go.
currently in the process of coordinating joining a new game of tabletop as a player and this stream.
Oh, well. Well, hopefully for your sake, we won't get to the next dungeon, so you don't have to coordinate that on top of those two things. But I don't think we'll quite get there. I think we'll get close, but I don't think we'll get there. I think there's an instance before the dungeon, so it should hold us off for a little longer. Take me to the ocular, sir. I have to tell the Exarch that my attention is being split multiple ways here. Oh, have you? Yeah, well, never a dull moment for me. Yeah, we need to get them back as soon as we can so the Scions can focus on, you know, everything but the weapon quests, and then me and Rory can focus on the weapon quests for a little bit.
Weapon.
Yeah, those. Gonna guess Thancred, Reen, and Rory are still out in the empty. Because here's most of the rest of the gang.
Now that we are all here,
I don't know where Alice
what news
is,
from
but...
the source?
Anyway. Well, so the Ultima weapon is back, question mark. We don't really have a lot of info, but Gaius and Maxima and all them want me to murder the new prototype,
A
so...
new Ultima weapon. We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
I suppose it's better than him trying to drive the new one.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
To be fair, though, the fact that Xenos has literally no intention to roll Garlemald might help us a little bit. Not in a good way, because it will result in the deaths of thousands of Garleans, but the fact that they'll basically all be scrambling to try to figure out who is the next in the line of succession for a while should let us sit on our hands a little bit.
An orc that doesn't want to fight a copy of Battletoads with 100% reliable information in the Alpha Legion.
And Samus's armor. Just to name a few. You heard Xenos and Emperor and was mighty confused. Yeah, Xenos' father was the
Then let
Emperor
us
of
address that
Garlemald,
issue.
but he killed him.
Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion.
Guess he didn't like his dad too much.
Thanks in large part to Urianger and Beklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
Oh, nice. Okay. What does this vessel look like?
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations.
Sounds like Beck
And
Lug got over
after a
whatever
good
sickness she
deal
had in
of trial and
5.1.
error, we made one.
She sounds a lot less nasally now.
An ark for soul and mind both that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
I'll take your word for it. I'm already swimming in ether physics that I barely understand in order to get everybody home in the source, so...
However,
What's the rub?
though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
Oh, okay, so we have to give it Allegan... breathe some Allegan life into it for it to take on your souls and memories. Alright.
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allegan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within aurosite or any other crystal.
So we need to invent a blood crystal. Fantastic.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
Are we sure there isn't like some Allegan technology laying around inside the crystal tower that can assist us in this? Because this feels like a simple fix.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel.
And then we'll just leech a little bit of blood out of
I
it.
am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
Okay, so we'll spend the patch digging around in the crystal tower. Sounds like fun.
As well you should be. The Allegan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past.
Yeah, well, ancient technology and all that, you know how it goes. It works better than modern technology sometimes. You've never done that trial, to be honest? You fell out of EX content years ago. I feel like I've done it. I just don't remember if I did it on this account or not. I don't remember it being that hard, but I think I did it like way later than I was supposed to. Zeno is a slur for alien, and in 40k it's used a lot, and then the Emperor as an Emperor of Mankind. Ah, okay, yeah, I could see the confusion then, because Zeno as in an alien, and then the Emperor of Mankind.
But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
I'm sure you will. Welcome to the patch that made you fucking scream. Getting the science back to the source shouldn't be getting fucking delayed. Yeah, they're kind of on borrowed time.
I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found.
Well, of course it will. We're all here to help now. What else are we gonna do with our time?
See you safely home.
Like, they made me delay fighting the weapons to get all of us home. You're not gonna delay me from finding a way to get all of us home, are you?
My apologies.
What could possibly go wrong?
Lena! Lena can go wrong, because here she comes. Did you finally find your character development?
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness.
Okay, good. I'm all ears. How did your character development
But
go?
there's no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Okay, sure, we can talk about it in private. That's fine. Man, must have been juicy character development then.
Why not speak in here?
What's character development?
Unless...
Lena keeps asking that question. She never gets an answer. Maybe she's embarrassed to talk about it in front of her father figure?
Hopefully ill-qualified to assist in the Exarch's research. I may yet be of some use to Lena.
I mean, technically speaking, even if all of us are underqualified to help with the Exarch's research, we should still all be helping because it results in all of you getting back there faster and not dying. But I guess we're gonna go help Lena now. Okay.
You sure you need me here for this part?
I mean, if you weren't here, I'd just be taking the piss for 2.5 hours. And also, if you're not here, I'll go get to the next part of the next dungeon, and you'll be like, oh shit, I'm 6 quests behind.
Fair enough.
So that's why
Guess I
you're
should
here,
probably
just to keep
get
up
to-
with the MSQ. That's why you're here.
Aggressively skips cutscenes, I'm kidding. Kidding.
Would be heresy taking the Emperor and the Xenos name in the same sentence. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, what's character development? And if you're not here, Cole, who would talk about Tosca, the demon killer? It's true.
Tosca.
I don't know anything about
Tosca.
Tosca, so... Alright, let's go see what Lena needs. It's a hell of a time for her to finally get character development, but I suppose I've been asking about it this whole time. So let's hear it, Lena. What's your character development? Oh, you're not getting character development? You're literally just here to tell me that there's a Sin Eater in Lakeland that you need me to kill? And that's it? Okay. Why do they do this to her? How do they do this to her? This is disgusting. Well, I'll do the best I can to kill it slowly so they can learn from me. Let's be about it then. Alpha No can give me some healing in the process. Yeah, so Lena doesn't get character development. She quite literally just ends up as a mouthpiece for the quests rather than becoming an actual person. Why? I don't know. Parvati, take me home, country roads.
Take me home.
I'm
country
ready to not be in this place.
road.
I don't belong in this place.
If I keep singing this, you'll get copyrighted.
Actually, don't know if that's true.
I don't want to take a chance.
Fair enough.
I don't want to destroy your Twitch channel over a joke.
Okay, so Sin Eater to kill. Yeah, go gather my captive audience, I guess.
It fucking fascinates me, by the way, how a lot of the dialogue options as you go through the game, you'll constantly get options that characters have formerly said, which is really funny, because it makes me imagine the Warrior of Light is picking up these phrases by, like, symbiosis, like I do.
I mean, kind of, in a way. Like, if they've made an impression on a person, then they do sort of pick it up, you know?
Let us be about it, then.
Yeah, that. Which someone else has said. Well, I'm glad you didn't step through death's door. You guys do know that eventually the Sin Eaters are going to be completely eradicated, and you'll have to stop killing each other and killing the Sin Eaters and put your swords down and actually help with something.
They'll
else,
worry
right?
about that when the Sin Eaters are all dead.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair, although honestly I feel like the Sin Eaters would have been better off dead in 5.0.
Remind me, Lifeblood. Wasn't Tosca the Demon Killer that one orc who he and his boys were chasing down and, like, fighting demons, and the demons ran away, but they chased them through the warp to continue fighting them? They ended up in Korn's realm, and Korn was just like, I'm gonna put you in Orc Valhalla because I think you're chill. And let you fight for the rest of eternity, and then they just went on, like, an eternal log inside of Korn's realm fighting demons.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure that was him.
That is a late soldier. Oh, okay. He was late because he was doing his good deed for the day. Kinda, you left the most important parts there. There you go. There were some details, but that's okay. I mean, I have time now because apparently the game keeps wanting me to delay the most important aspects of the story. So, I don't remember, actually, but you can remind me, I suppose. Oh, okay, fair enough. It's funny because they tell you who this guy is, and he's like an important character for this patch and this patch only, and then he never shows up again. He doesn't die. He's still alive. He's just never part of the story again. And I don't understand why they would do that, but... Like, I don't know why they're making him a big deal in the first place. He's just a guard. He has no character other than, I'm a Crystarium guard. I do the right thing sometimes. Well, that fire is all well and good, but maybe you should, you know, siphon some of it off so you can go use it for the crystalline mean instead of just the Sin Eater part. Like, again, you're the kind of person that I'm scared about once the Sin Eaters are all dead, that you're just going to keep fighting and you're going to end up being a villain. Because you either die a hero.
Or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Yeah. Not me, though. I don't have to worry about that because I already know how that lesson goes, so I'm going to stop being a hero before I die a hero and before I become the villain.
You're already the villain.
In Rory's mind? Yeah, sometimes.
Depends on how stupid you're acting.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, when are you going to flamethrower me again? It's been a while.
It's more surprising and painful if you don't see it coming.
It's true. Well, let's head up north and go fight this Sin Eater thing. I don't think, did I mention
Because I'm
it
like
yet?
2 quests ahead of you, I'm gonna go off and do my pixie quests.
Okay, you do that. Oh, you're already 2 quests ahead of me.
Do not underestimate the speed at which I read.
And skip, no. Anyway, there's a
Listen,
fate
I've
spawn
already
directly
listen. This
south of
patch is probably is up there with one of my favorites.
Hmm.
Because I actually like, well, not this patch, but this string of patches.
Oh, okay. Is Ophion the thing we're killing, or did you guys already get it without me?
Hey, look, they did something without you.
Good. It's about time. So is this the Sin Eater?
Did you slay this eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
Something tells me I didn't
No,
have a
Captain,
choice.
It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
Or that.
By himself. Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
A well-versed traveler. Maybe it was
A
Thancred.
single swing of his axe he did.
Never mind, he had an
Never seen
axe. It
anything
was
like
not Thancred.
So I says to him, who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness?
Who do we know around here that has an axe and actually still uses it? Because Rory has an axe, but probably hasn't used it in a while.
And he says no.
I had to
I'm
put
a
the
warrior
axe
of
down,
light.
quell the
That was
beast.
it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
Now, who would wander around here calling themselves a warrior of light after all the shit that the light has done for this realm in the past 100 years? Like, that's asking to
someone go
become the
around
villain
calling
in
himself
people's
that,
minds.
though? It was those bastards who caused the flood.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be him, the warrior of darkness.
So why is this person... Not that I care, because I don't want them impersonating me to begin with, but if they're going to impersonate anybody, he's right. Should be impersonating me.
Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
At ease, soldier. I'm no important person. That's just what I do. There you go, Cole. There's your explanation. I think. Oh, look, the ether dissipated into space, like
Since the Eater is
it
no
probably
longer
should have
felt,
done
our work here is
previously.
done. Return to your posts.
Although that kind of fucks with how light ether from the Sin Eaters has worked up until this point. They just casually hand-waved that away, even though that's not how light ether has worked
Oh
before
yeah, that's
this,
how the
but-
story went, right.
Okay. Enter the warp because Tuaka realized that demons make good enemies, so they fight them. Got out of hand, demons were actively avoiding the orc's ship. So that deep into Korn's territory, they went to his palace to fight demons there. They were killed by a demon prince, but Tuaka cut off the prince's nuts. That's when Korn revived them for eternal bloodshed. Okay. There you go.
Orc Valhalla.
Fun. All you gotta do is cut someone's balls off.
It amuses me of how fucking strong the orcs are in the lore, because they are the only people who would actively survive walking into Korn's palace and fighting. Like, they didn't survive, but that was one ship.
I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the flood.
Maybe they don't know that at this point.
I had to
The
type the
excerpt
story
told me the
anyway.
truth
I
of
am
our
upset. I
George
put
and
this
his
to Cole,
comrades'
so I don't
deeds, and I am
type it,
aware
but
that
I did
they
it
serve
anyway.
for your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while to undrag their names out of the mud.
Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias.
Still kind of wondering who they are, though. I just hope it's not
But that's
Ranjit
neither here
again.
nor there. I thank
With
you for
memory
I think he's
loss.
dead.
Yeah, we said that about Yotsuyu too, and then she came back with memory loss.
With that
So let's not put
concluded,
it past
Shall
them.
we return to the
To be
Crystal?
fair, we watched Ranjit die.
I know.
Yotsuyu technically died off screen.
Yeah, actually, because she got crushed by a building. Even though she didn't get crushed by a building.
She did have Gosetsu there to
Forgive
save
me.
her.
There is
There was
but-
nobody there to save Ranjit, except for his dragon, of which we murdered.
a personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
I mean, if that's what you want, to talk about the character development that you don't have,
Take
sure,
your
I can
time.
talk to you
I
privately.
shall go on ahead.
I was gonna say when she talked about forgive me the fact that we had this trip it meant nothing, but I was gonna basically say, well, I would forgive it a lot easier if it wasn't for the fact that they literally did that to me twice already in this patch over the past 45 minutes, but you know.
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch.
Okay, well, character development be damned. Lena's gonna be a mouthpiece this time. Although, I guess in this case, at least it concerns her father figure.
Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has.
Which, to be
He has
honest,
seen more
valid.
than any man should and grown ever more weary with time.
It's a step in the right direction, but Lena's still not a character, though.
But I see I give the wrong impression. While
No,
it is
that's
true
more
he
character
attempted
than
to
Ranjit,
measure with
which to be
some
fair is like
familiarity,
saying the floor
we
has
are not
more
here because I
substance to it
suspect
than the
his
dirt
mind
that
is
it's built upon,
deteriorating.
but you know what? It's a bar.
So, if you don't think he's getting senile, why are we talking about this then?
Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true.
Well, he has a lot to live for right now. His life's work is almost complete.
It is for this reason that I seek your advice.
Okay,
The homeboy did
sure.
spend like
Since he returned
100
from the
something
Tempest,
years
the
making sure all
exile
this
is
bullshit would go right.
Not as he was.
Can't blame him for going a little bit
He seems
cuckoo.
a different man. A younger man.
That's what happens when you give
I
someone
know
purpose.
not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy.
Because he's finally getting results. He had to plan this shit for 100 years, and even longer before that when they woke him up, so he hasn't seen any results up until now. I imagine that would make anybody
it was
happy.
As if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there.
I guess you could take it that way if you want, sure.
Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
Lena, I sincerely doubt that. You are literally like a daughter to him. And he's literally... You just told me he tried to open a letter with a salmon fillet. I think he needs you.
Are you sure?
I don't say anything unless I'm sure. Or if it's
This
a
is
joke.
true. You're hauntingly blunt.
As we have always
Unless it's a
been.
joke, which it's not in this case.
What a relief.
I guess I'm giving parents counseling now.
In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work.
Get him to take a break every
This
once in a
research
while.
is important, I know. But if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
Fair enough. See, that is the one redeeming quality for me personally. Okay, actually, there's a couple of redeeming qualities about patch 5.2 for me. One of them is the fact that they were pushing Lena towards being a character in 5.2, because that exchange was actually pretty good as a push in the right direction. And then they ruin it in 5.3 because she gets approximately 5 minutes of screen time, and most of it is to cry again.
Which, to be fair, she has good reason to cry in 5.3, at the very least.
I guess, but they were building here, and then they don't build anymore, and after patch 5.3, nobody in the first gets character development ever again because the story is not in the first anymore. It's back in the source. So
spoilers.
We're gonna get people home. That's not really that much of a spoiler. Anyway.
I was saying that mostly as a shitpost.
All right, Lena, tell me if you find your character development while seeing them back to their posts. I don't even know why I bother to say that anymore. Back to Alphino. He's in the Crystarium. My return spell is ready. Oh, look, there is the Pellegrin. Before I return.
I'm faster than you.
How was your time in the Empty?
I hate primals.
Well, you're done with them now, aren't you?
No.
No?
Things have gotten complicated.
I was going to say, at this point, I figured that you would have been done with E8 normal, but...
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Complicated.
Well, I'll leave you to it. I've got other things to go research, so... And since I'm returning, I suppose I should say. And by that, I mean, someone's running around posing as a warrior of light, so I'm going to go fix that.
Oh, good. I need a break. I can help you with that.
Okay.
But to give you an update on everything happening in the Empty, there's life in the Empty again. Reen's in a coma.
Oh. Well, that's a shame.
That girl we found in the armor from E2 is a person, and
Nora's brainchild.
And I hate primals.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I had to kill Shiva again.
Oh no.
And Ramu.
Well, that's fun.
And a flock of birds.
There was a flock of birds.
There was a flock of birds.
Was it a birdemic?
With how many people died? Yes.
Fun. A good ending in my video game? Unacceptable. Seriously,
Talk about orcs in general, they're just funny.
Okay, let's make a proposal then. What's the proposal, Alphino? Well, that makes sense because they're probably trying to figure out what their history was like before that. Everybody was just focused on surviving before this, so... Excuse me. So what, tell them about Ardbert and his companions? I mean, that makes sense. Since the game's going to force me to wait to get you guys home anyway, while they do research, I might as well. Well, they do bear responsibility for the flood, but that's because an Ascian tricked them, just like every other major problem that's happened in probably every other shard. And some of the problems in the source, too. I mean, you could have just leaked that knowledge anyway and said, no, I'm helping all of you survive now. My word is law, and here's what my word says about Ardbert and the Warriors of Light. They were not dickheads. I feel like that would have made a lot more... had them have a lot better of a tale. They would have been seen in a better light, so... Yeah, and that does seem a little bit strange, but I suppose Ilmeg itself is pretty insular, and Ilmeg is on top of where Vobert used to be. Most people probably don't get to vacation out there without getting turned into a leaf man, so... And you know how it goes with people when when something is wrong with the world that someone can't directly control, they find a scapegoat to blame for it, and it can be anything or everything. So it's logical that they hate them, but it makes me feel like Graha could have done more to assuage that hate. And it took all of us to get him to see that. Yeah, Arbert's soul is still right here, so... I don't know how to summon him out of the depths of my soul at the moment, though. Maybe I need to find some tarot cards or something. Or shoot myself in the head.
Don't use Super Bowl Light on yourself. It's not a pleasant experience.
Well,
Take that from somebody who did.
I was gonna say, I've seen Marie do it twice in Amarat, so... I imagine it wasn't very pleasant.
Ow, fuck.
What do you mean, ow, fuck?
There we go.
Are you stretching?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Unrelated, I got into that Pathfinder game I wanted to be. I was asked to be in.
I do wish we had done this sooner, but let's spread the word, folks! I'm sure Ardbert would enjoy knowing that he's a little bit better liked. So what are we going to do? Going to give everybody a speech about Ardbert and his companions? Lifeblood redeemed hydration break just as I was picking up water anyway. There you go.
Your timing is immaculate, Lifeblood.
Yes. Alright, so let's bring the truth to the people. I suppose. Lifeblood is just that good. He just knows my schedule at this point. Oh, I got a lot of legwork to do, it looks like. Let's see. One up at the Crystalline Mean. One in the Spadrix, yeah. A bunch over by the markets. Where's the other one? There's 5, right? Oh, there's one in the Cabinet of Curiosity. Okay. Let's just go north to south, how about? Because why not? Oh look, Cole is joining me, I think. Yes. I caught up to Cole, that never happens.
It's because I stopped reading for a while and dissociated, standing perfectly still.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then.
You know how it goes. Sometimes I gotta phase into another dimension.
Well, I have thoughts about that statement, but I'll talk about it later. Don't worry about it.
Me dissociating into another dimension?
He is.
Mm.
That's because most of the books you have in here, Morin, are not more than 100 years old. So, the flood kind of wiped out a lot of the knowledge from before that, so. Yeah, we're gonna tell everybody the truth. Yeah, bring some friends. And some popcorn. It might take a while, because it's a long story.
Hail as old as time.
I'm not gonna rhyme, though.
Musica Universalis Markets next.
I guess I'm not going north to south because I just passed up the crystalline mean to go to Spadgerix instead. I probably should have gone to Spadgerix first since it was, like, literally right next to me. But oh well. In case it wasn't clear from the people we're talking to all of the important NPCs that we saw in previous quests here in the Crystarium, so. Well, you could always test your new medicines on Sin Eaters. Anybody for Apothecary class? I guess it would be a job, though, not a class, wouldn't it? They probably didn't want to add that into the game, though, because it would have been too close to the Alchemist Crafter. But, I don't know. I still think they could have made a quote-unquote chemist work as a battle class in this game. Well, there will be more to the tale, so gather in the... I think we're going to have the speech in the courtyard, so we can gather once we go to say things about it. Got the chapter done, Lifeblood? Nice, congrats. Hopefully it all came out good. Hopefully you'll be able to, you know, do your editing for it or whatever it is your creative process is. My creative process usually involves quite a bit of editing, to be fair. But we'll get there. Catless, good to see you in the mean again. Well, that's not very surprising, I suppose. I have that effect on people. Well, I didn't expect to meet Grinold at the bottom of the ocean, to be fair, but... Yeah, the Exarch's getting senile in his old years, like Lena says, so we need to tell everybody the actual full story. So... Finally, there you go. Did you get me interested in murder drones with the trailer? I'll be honest, I haven't even watched the trailer yet. I gotta go do that after I'm done with the stream, I think. So I can check it out.
Oh, yeah.
Because I haven't taken a look at it yet. It's funny though, because just the name Murder Drones reminds me of Fear and Hunger. I'll tell you what, you want to go on a fucking rabbit hole of an adventure, look up Fear and Hunger. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
That's terrifying.
I don't even know if Cole knows what Fear and Hunger is. But holy shit.
I mean, if you're recommending it, that's
it's
concerning.
a game that I simultaneously want to play and definitely don't want to play. I'm confused.
Why?
Because of its content. I like the systems management of the gameplay. I hate the content of the rest of the game.
Fair enough.
Unless you tell people to watch something they never do. I hate this life. I will watch it, not to worry. Just it wasn't something that was
will be back in a moment.
priority.
I'm gonna go check outside because I have a package coming to this address.
Oh, okay.
That said, it will be here at some point later in the day.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should come get the ones that came here at some point too.
Yeah, after we're done on stream.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. See you in a bit. Well, we're gonna give a speech about the rest of the truth of the Warriors of Light. So. All right then. That's 4. Probably going to talk to the barkeeper. I don't think we're going to talk to Ciela about this. Post something, gets ignored, ask them and they're like no, then you tell them to watch and they do it. Well, at least they watch it after the second time. So they could just continue to ignore you. That wouldn't be, wouldn't be very nice, but it could happen. Well, you need to take a quick break and let your barkeep take care of things. I'm sure Ciela can be the bartender for a little while. Because you need to go look at a speech or listen to a speech. Although, honestly, Ciela probably would want to be there for this speech as well. Just let Giat be the bartender. It's fine. I'm sure that won't end incredibly poorly. Something like that. Alright. Let's go to the... Yeah, it's just in the middle of the Dossel Gate. I see what Cole did. He's watching the cutscene. He's probably got it on autoplay while he goes and takes care of his package. That'd be preferable because then you could just save your time completely. I mean, I guess. Depends on how you look at it, right? Okay, let's wait for people to gather up and then we will tell them the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Yeah, that's quite a crowd. I'm gonna need a mouthpiece or a microphone or something to tell everybody what they need to hear. Yeah, I could shout at the top of my lungs, but I don't think anybody wants to hear that from this microphone.
Though I am usually the first to hold forth at such events, I think on this occasion that honor should fall to
You want to know what pisses me off?
What?
Spectrum.
They would be
Why is that?
They fucking send me these mails, important ass looking envelope with important stamped on the front, and it's literally just a deal.
In light of the subject matter.
Yeah, well, it's important to them.
Like, bro, if you're gonna send me something with a fucking important notice on it, don't stamp it in big ass red text. I'm thinking you're canceling my bill.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm out here thinking you're canceling my service.
That wouldn't happen. You've been paying your bill, so.
Much to my dismay.
Hear ye, hear ye. Come hear all, and I will tell you a tale of the warriors of light, who may have also been the warriors of darkness. It's complicated. It depends on whose story you believe. Point of the matter is, they were adventurers at one point in their lives, and they happened to save the world from the Shadowkeeper, the force of darkness that almost flooded the world before the force of light flooded the world. So, yeah, they weren't all that bad. And I mean, at the beginning of their whole adventure, they were all people, just like you and I. So, it's not really right to throw them under the bus just because they caused the flood. To be fair, they went to another dimension to stop that flood. And then they helped us save the world from another flood of darkness that you may not have known about at this point. It was at the bottom of the ocean. It's complicated.
Wicked White. The Warriors of Light did all that?
I'm surprised you could follow that train of thought, Taylor, but yes, they did.
So they never... I mean, they only ever wanted to help. And when everything they'd done turned to ash, they still carried on.
That's the idea, yes.
They gave everything to stop the flood. First their lives, then their souls.
They gave up their freedom so you could have yours.
And they managed it too. In the end, they saved us. And we cursed their names.
Believe it or not, I've heard that story before too. There's always time for forgiveness, though, my friends. You can just take their account to heart now. And then you can use it to move forward by building the Crystarium better and keeping the last of the Sin Eaters from killing anyone and helping the people of the Inn at Journey's Head to, you know, not die. Speaking of coming back from the dead. Did you summon out of my soul?
Impossible.
No, because Alphino can see you too. That's strange. You can see him too, then. Usually he only appears to me.
I definitely see something. You don't think it's a ghost, do you?
I mean, if it was a ghost, it wouldn't be corporeal, Alphino. This isn't the Siren Song C.
Nay, yonder standeth no bloodless apparition, but a warrior of light and darkness both. Ardbert.
But he's in here, so how is he out there?
What in the world?
Okay, who's flesh bagging Ardbert's body? Where did they even fucking find his body? I would have thought it would have been erased from existence or something. Considering the flood.
The one who slew the Eater.
And yeah, he's the one who killed the Sin Eater before. So there you go.
That it should be the warrior of darkness who brought the truth to light. You've saved me a fair bit of time. though I have a few words of my own to say, if I may.
I mean, the floor's open, I guess. I'd like to know what you have to say, too, considering you're supposed to be dead.
People of the Crystarium, I am Ardbert, one of those you know as a warrior of light.
Okay, so this is not Ardbert, because he wouldn't be making
That's
that pose
impossible.
if
You should be dead.
he was actually Ardbert. His light-corrupted body, you would think.
But as the
Life.
world has been given new life, so too have I. I know not why I, and I alone, have been gifted this chance. But I do know this.
Hello?
Are you
Only
still
by the
here?
will of the star
I am still
itself
here, and
could
your
such a
stream is still
miracle
open,
come
so
to
it's fine.
pass.
Okay, good. I was getting spooked for a
Lifeblood.
second.
I watched the trailer for
hero
Murder Drones,
stands
and
before
one of the
you now,
fucking comments is
the
just,
warrior of
considering this is a series about robots killing
not
each
of
other,
this world.
don't get attached to any of the characters.
the
First
day will
fucking
come
reply, oh,
when
we
he
are
must return to
absolutely
his
getting
home.
attached to the characters.
This is a shock to anyone?
But
Why
this
is this
land
a
is
shock
our
to
home.
anyone?
And if it is to remain
I would have
so,
thought they would have
now
said
and
that first.
forevermore, it is we who must protect it. The time to rely on saviors from afar has passed. It is you who must rise. You who must become the new warriors of light.
By,
Us,
you know,
warriors of light.
doing things that I do, like multifaceted things, not by killing innocent creatures and animals, right? Please don't do this to me.
None of us were born heroes, my friend.
Man, Jimmy, if I didn't know any better, I'd say
I
that
was
this
only
is
ever a man with a thirst for
polar
adventure.
to your entire philosophy.
But wherever
Opposite?
my journeys took me, I was invariably confronted with the same choice. To lend what aid I could to those in need, or not. And I always chose the former.
Well, there's your first mistake.
Any one of you could do the same. All you need is the will to help your fellow man, and the resolve to see it through.
I mean, he's not saying anything that I disagree with on principle. I just hope that they all take it as be multifaceted. The world was 90% destroyed and still recovering. So build.
I'm working on that part. Don't tell any of them about that yet.
Thou art not inclined to recant thy testimony.
I mean, technically speaking, I could just bullshit away his entire claim by saying, actually, no, Ardbert is kind of inside of my soul. Would people believe it is the other question, but...
hold truth and resonate with the citizenry besides. For us to voice our doubts here and now would serve but to sow disquiet. 'Twere better we retired under the ocular and there discuss this matter in private.
Sure, so should I invite him for a drink and then take him to the ocular so we can...
I will stay here and watch.
Oh, okay, we're not going to get the truth from him. We're just going to let him run rampant with the citizenry while we go talk about things in private, which makes us look even more suspicious.
You having fun yet, Jimmy?
I remember this patch now. It creates an interesting
Jimmy
problem.
Grayston.
That is a warrior of light of the first.
It just doesn't end up going anywhere.
I've not had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, but as you all seem to be,
It is hilarious to me
this is no simple
how
case of mistaken
this
identity.
Ardbert's philosophy stands in perfect opposition to everything Jimmy believes in terms of what adventurers should be.
Well, yeah, we have a similar philosophy outwardly in terms of the principles of why we go out and adventure, but the action part is the part that he does completely differently from me, because his impression of becoming a warrior of light is exactly as vapid as I don't want it to be. The idea of being a warrior of light to me is to be multifaceted, to know when to proffer the sword and when to take up the crafting hammer or take up the gathering tool so that you can help people build back up. And right now, that's what the First needs. They need to build back up. They don't need to kill things. Wildlife is just starting to come back now after the Sin Eater's influence has been diminished. So why is anybody going out and killing things as an adventurer? That, like, I would think Clan Nutsy would get all over this shit and be like, no, you need to stop. You just kill things we tell you to kill. Don't go out and murder things. You will cause an ecological disaster. Like, this is where the actual ecological disaster becomes, like, a rampant issue. It's too bad it results in the exact same thing happening that happened with the Tempest, but we'll talk about it.
Could he truly have been resurrected as he claims?
No, Ardbert's soul is in my body. He's not... It looks and sounds like him, but it's not him. He's right here. I can feel him.
Ardbert did entrust his very soul unto thee.
I'm surprised he isn't, like, screaming and yelling at this fucking enigma that has flesh-bagged his body. Then again, Anakin Skywalker didn't show up in the sequel trilogy, so I suppose fair enough.
Nor I. To my eyes, your ether burns as brightly as the day you slew Emmett Selk. That is proof that he is with you still.
Well, right, and again, my own testimony. He's inside my soul. I can feel it, okay? Like, it's not... This is not a normal feeling.
That which standeth now before the people is far more than a passing imitation. I am reminded of the cardinal virtues, though a sin-eater he is not.
It almost feels like his ether's a little familiar now that I think about it.
Which leaveth but one plausible explanation.
Oh, and that's... Now that you say it, it makes me be on the same page, actually, as what you're about to say, which is...
That he is an Ascian.
Yeah. It's another Ascian. He's flesh-bagging Ardbert's body, just like Elidibus did with Xenos's... Oh, fuck, it's Elidibus. God damn it! We don't need this guy here now!
Given their fondness for posthumous possession...
You don't think you could be any more done with this game? Just wait until we get to the next patch where they introduce all these plot threads and then do nothing with them.
The Warriors of Light were later
Then you'll be really done.
By those whom they had aided in life. At the time, some few still remembered them as heroes.
So their bodies were found after the Flood of Light. How exactly?
Needless to say, 4 of them were subsequently exhumed to serve as the virtues. And if one knew where to look, Ardbert too would not have been difficult to find.
Well, I'm glad you had that excuse saved for a rainy day. Can I go to Yulmore and find these graves? No.
My mind inevitably turns to the last remaining paragon to survive the Sundering.
The last loose end besides Xenos. Elidibus.
Elidibus.
That guy! Stretch break. Stretch my legs too. That's a good idea. I'll do a flip. That's a good trick. I wanted this guy dead before.
His own flesh is known.
Yeah. And that means Elidibus decided, instead of facing us in person like he's done previously, he decided to go on another necromancy spree.
The emissary chose Ardbert for his next vessel.
I need to introduce these people to cremation. This shit needs to stop.
You act like the Ascians wouldn't find a way around that bitch.
How do you unset a body on fire?
Etheric constructs.
Yeah, I guess that's true. He's an Elder Ascian, so he would have the ether to do that shit.
In what one may term their natural state, none save those gifted with the echo can perceive them.
It depends, Urianger. Just because the ones we've seen have been like that doesn't mean that they can't turn themselves corporeal. They have all of the knowledge of the void, after all. I'm sure they could eventually figure something out. Hell, look at the Reaper clan.
I myself remained ignorant of his coming until after his departure.
Those, I mean, okay, so those aren't Ascians, those are just regular old Void Sent, but they take their own natural form on.
It was only at a later juncture when he deigned to appear before me.
I guess it's a little bit of a different situation, though.
Able to take the measure of him. In such puppetry do the Ascians engage when they seek to influence the course of history.
Bless you. So what kind of history is he trying to influence now?
And they have gained much by it. Emmett Selk single-handedly built the Garlean Empire in this manner, while La Hebrea came close to conquering Eorzea. having taken possession of Thancred's living body.
Let's not forget that Emet-Selch also, not single-handedly, but partially built the Allegan Empire by doing the same fucking thing, so...
Yet it must needs be noted that the Ascians cannot avail themselves of all mortal vessels. For were they able to do so, none would serve as a better pawn than our own redoubtable champion.
Yeah, I guess I should count my blessings that they haven't tried to invade my body yet. I mean, I'm protected by the Mother Crystals, so...
the blessing of light shieldeth Hydaelyn's chosen from Ascian influence. Or mayhap other forces are at work. We cannot say for certain.
I mean, I have my theories, but it's probably just Hydaelyn protecting me.
Whatever the reason, I hope it holds true. I dare not contemplate what might come to pass otherwise.
What, them possessing my body? To be fair, at the rate we're going, Rory's going to be stronger than me in a matter of days, so... And then she will not be at a limit. She will continue to grow stronger while I'm basically at my limits right now.
Given that he was once a warrior of light. Or did the final departure of his soul make it possible, perhaps?
You're asking these questions and then you're never going to give us an answer, so why are you asking these questions?
To hear an Ascian use him to call
Good question.
new warriors of light boggles the mind.
I mean, I know why you're asking these questions and then never giving us answers. It's because the pandemic hit in the development of patch 5.3 immediately after this patch came out, so they had to wait 6 to 7 months before they released the next patch because COVID gripped the entire world at that point, and so they didn't know if they could even sit next to each other in the development room, let alone develop for the game. So in that 6 to 7 month situation, they basically rewrote what they wanted to do with the entire story. So basically everything that's happening right now will practically end at the end of this patch, and they will pull an entirely new plot thread out of their ass in order to end the story of our friends being stuck in the first. So...
Granted, said new story is honestly kind of cool, but...
I mean, I honestly think that this premise can be interesting. I don't think the people of the first have any reason to believe what he's going to tell them to do because they have logistics in place to prevent them from doing what he says. But essentially what he's going to tell them is go out and adventure and kill animals like I did in my heyday. And Clan Nutsy would almost immediately be like, no, fuck you, you piece of garbage. The entire world will be destroyed if everyone just goes out and kills things willy-nilly. Unless, you know, all the people of this world are cognizant that this is an MMO and they all respawn, which they shouldn't be because they're NPCs within that world. So I think there's a premise here, but then they don't do anything with it.
I do find it slightly amusing that seemingly I completely forgot about this part because of how parallel or how like opposite this runs to Jimmy's core philosophy, which makes this part so much more interesting from Jimmy's perspective.
That's kind of why I would have liked to have seen this developed more, because I think it could have ran as an interesting final step, almost like an apotheosis to my philosophy in character, you know?
Which, if we had creative control of this game, would have probably been a thing if this was a comic.
Probably. On that part, Sora should really charge rent, yeah, because he kind of holds host to a whole lot of people in his body, doesn't he?
But then again, if I had control of the comic story of this game, the finale would not include Jimmy at all. For reasons.
Because I don't want to be an adventurer anymore, not in the capacity we currently are.
That he coaxed this star's most valiant heroes as far as the source with naught save half-truths is no trifling feat.
See, and this is what I'm talking about, though, too. It's an interesting premise, and what they set up with it is they set up Elidibus as being this, like, chess master, right? Who's been pulling these pieces together for a long, long time to set everything up, and he just sort of, okay, well, there's a minor setback because one of the other Elder Ascians died. It's no big deal. I'll just change my plan around to make it so that everything goes according to what I'm going to say. And then patch 5.3 rolls around.
Granted, what happens in patch 5.3 is honestly kind of badass.
We'll talk about it.
Though naught is certain, should my suspicions prove true, we shall have need of all our wits if we are to uncover and thereafter thwart his plot.
And the thing about it, right, is that it's the same sort of thing as, like, a horror game, right? So when you don't know what the horror is, your brain will invent something that is far more terrifying in in a situation where they're building to it, but you don't know what it is yet, your brain will invent something far more terrifying than what it actually is. And then when you see the thing, you'll be like, oh, well, that's not as scary as what my brain came up with. The absence of the horror, but the thought that it could be there, is scarier than the actual thing. And it's the same thing here. The absence of his plot, but knowing that he is plotting, makes you more apprehensive for what he could ultimately do. So your brain starts reaching for all the threads of what things have happened so far in the story, and you pull out something that is far more complex than what they do. I'll just say it right here.
Agreed. 'Tis plain that
We'll talk
simply
about it
speaking
when we
out
get
against
there,
him
but
will
it
not
is...
avail us. At best, it would only serve to confuse the people.
That's true. So we need to find evidence proving his guilt and also proving his words false.
Yours, by association.
But again, this is a good plan on Elidibus's part. Take control of a host after we literally do the work for him by saying, yeah, Ardbert wasn't such a bad guy, and then he just comes back with Ardbert's body and says, yeah, Ardbert wasn't such a bad guy, was he? It adds to that whole chessmaster feeling that he has going, where he's manipulating the pieces in the background, which is what he's been doing this entire game. So there's interest here. There's a premise.
Performance appears.
I just know what happens after this, and it doesn't
What now?
really
Go back out and follow him?
help. Where could he be going, anyway?
'Twould appear Master Alphino already hath pursuit in mind.
Oh, okay.
And I suspect one pair of eyes shall better serve our cause than half a dozen. Let the rest of us maintain an inconspicuous distance, for the present at least.
So we can keep working on the soul vessels then, since Alphinode's following him. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because I can help you work on the soul vessel now so that you guys can get home faster, and we can delete Elidibus's plan from existence by proxy of that? Yeah, that wouldn't happen. Anyway, there's the people of Fano, so I guess that's where we're going next. This patch is all over the fucking place. It really isn't that curious, Graha. He does this sort of shit until he doesn't do this sort of shit. Right, which is fine, I suppose, in theory, but what he's going to pose in practice is something that no one should have any rightful reason to believe, as we'll talk about in a few minutes. Well, actually, we probably won't talk about it till the end of the patch, which is going to be on Friday, so... Yeah, so usually that results in a primal being summoned. In this particular case, there wasn't crystals involved, though, so there was no primal. He's just an Essien. That is a fair question. Okay, you head out to the empty and tell Thancred and Reen what's going on. If Reen is no longer in a coma, you might want to let Rory know. I guess you guys are going to take care of the soul vessel thing, and that means that Stola and I are going to head to follow Alphino? Question mark? Yeah, he's usually not that forthcoming, as Urianger can attest. And what makes you think that's going to bring to light anything about the Essians? I know they had those cave paintings, but... like, this reeks of an ass-pull. Welcome back, Marie. Back for a minute. Cooking dinner. It's baked chicken breasts tonight. Nice. Hopefully they come out good. What were you saying, Cole? Did they unearth the ruins of the Great Serpent? Because there are a lot of those guys running around down there now. Just ask the Qatari. Okay, fair enough. I do have a little bit of knowledge and influence with the Great Serpent, so... So yes, they basically tell you, hey, there's a new Ultima weapon. Don't worry about it for right now. Hey, we got a spirit vessel to keep our friends in so they can go back to the first. Don't worry about it for now. Hey, so Ardbert is being fleshbagged by Elidibus. Don't worry about it.
Worry about it.
Worry about it, but also don't worry about it for now. Because now you're going to go do ruins excavation with the people of Fano. Okay. Way past midnight here, Freeze. That isn't even a midnight snack anymore. Well, thankfully Marie can't just, like, 3D print them to you. Because they probably wouldn't taste as good. We are going to Fano, right? Yeah. That's where we'll go then. I still have this on my favorites list because I was doing the Qatari quests off screen. I have since stopped doing those because all of my gatherers are level 80. I'll probably finish them one day if I ever pick this game up again after I'm done streaming it. Anyway. So, since Lena can't get her character development, we can finally come clean to these people about us not being the allies of Ronka, right?
I love how I'm just watching a video on another tab. And I just fucking hear you having a mental breakdown in the background.
The Great Serpent of Ronka, aka the snake that goes screet! It's not even 7 p.m. here, chill. No, too late, you don't eat, no. Ah! I control my cooking, no!
Don't change, you two.
Oh, okay. Well, you could talk to the Qatari. They might be able to unward the magic, because, hell, it might be their chambers. That might be where they hid themselves after the whole thing was going on. I don't think we've seen the Qatari on screen, so I might go by their little village to show everybody who they are. They're the Keycurn of the first, but if you don't know what a Keycurn is, I'll show you. I have a knack for showing up when people need me, I guess. Only with small streamers will arguments like this be a thing. And we'll be able to actually follow the conversation. Like, if you're in a larger audience, it'll be tough for people to follow the conversation, you know, because they'll be in between everybody else. So. I mean, Ronkin technology might actually help us kill Elidibus, to be fair, so. Although, to be honest, I could have killed him previously to this, but they didn't let me, so. Don't even say that, because then we'll have to run from another boulder.
The boulder just drops down.
I'm back, bitch!
Oh god, not again!
I don't think I want to know where this conversation is going.
Why am I imagining the boulder falls, all the scions run, and Jimmy just stands there with the flat cat face? Rory just pulls out a bomb.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
And just throws it at the boulder. It just explodes.
That sounds about right. It's just like Rory just pulls a shotgun out or a grenade launcher out. How did you get a grenade launcher on your multi-tool? I built it.
I built it. Why am I imagining there's just an entire section of the comic which is just Rory finding random bullshit in the Crystal Tower and making something ridiculous out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Elegant microwave turns into a flamethrower.
The Elegans had a microwave? And why did they fill it with napalm?
It's the Elegans. Are you really surprised?
You know what? Actually, no.
Elegant napalm!
Ah, yes, Reese. I think it's high time we have a proper conversation here. It's quite alright to eat so late. I tried the British, and it's hard. Fine, I'll be back after I make food. Still into Wisco's seasonings. Alright, Marie. Go make your food. Hopefully it comes out good. Anyway, I'm glad that you guys have been exploring lately. That'll make it easier for us to get in here. So I guess without further ado, let's follow our Vice friends to the Katana Rabble and go do the instance of this area, which I think we need to get out of a party to do that, so, oops. Bye. I'm going in the wrong direction. But we get to hear Lahi again, so there you go.
Lahi!
Saitama style. Just stand there, leave a Saitama-sized hole in the boulder while it continues rolling. Yeah, exactly. Just a perfectly Rory and Jimmy-shaped hole. Here's the Qatari village. Hopple's Stopple. They have good music too. It's a remix of the Lahi music. But yeah, I found another serpent. He has an Indiana Jones hat. So that's fun. There's also one with a mining helmet. Here's Qatar al-Nadal and his son, Chakra al-Kodal. They're the two main NPCs of the quests. So they've been unearthing their history. As you can see, they've made some decent progress. They have 2 murals already unearthed out of 4. But these are the Gathering Beast Tribe quests. They're very bare bones. Like, they put very little effort into the story aspect of them. Here's the reason why I'm not doing them on screen, by the way. I mentioned these murals here. So what they have you do at certain aspects of, or at certain points of the quests, is they have you decide on what the Qatari's history is. They say, hey, we found a mural, but what could it mean? And they tell you, okay, here's the first mural. What do you think it means? Here's the second mural. What do you think it means? Here's the rub. You can't see these murals until after you've already made a decision. They tell you, they give you a brief explanation of, here's what I saw in the mural. And it's like a one choice or another, where there's one that's like more happy-go-lucky thinking and one that's not. But you can't look at it yourself and make a decision, which means you're basically erasing their history in favor of guessing. That's disgusting. What kind of a fucking hero would do something like that? So that's why we're not doing them on screen. Because they leave a bad taste in my mouth. Anyway, I know Lahi, and Lahi awaits us behind this door. It is recommended you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Well, it's 10 to 7 over here, so I think we're okay. Cole, do you have any thoughts on the Qatari?
Pain.
Alright, Lifeblood, you are tired. Good night. Sounds like a plan. Get some rest, then. We will see you on the next stream on Friday.
New discoveries are to be found this way.
We'll be done with this patch on Friday. We'll be starting the next patch on Friday. We'll be doing 2 dungeons on Friday.
Yeah!
It's okay, they'll be short. Bumpin', but short. A quick question for everybody here. Did we bring a tank into this instance? I don't think we did.
Venerated animals, but these features do not match those of any indigenous species. This is no common beast.
That, to me, looks like a creation of the Asians, which means we might be getting closer.
Though that much is plain from its proportions.
You can't see its proportions, though.
Lifelike, is it not? One could almost imagine it breathed.
Why would you wish that on us, Simon? Because now it's going to breathe. Like that. Wah, wah.
Why you... Ugh.
You know...
These two somehow get more character development than Lena.
I'll just let them have their fun. It's fine.
I love how you didn't even catch what I said.
No, you're right, though. They do.
Different from the others we've seen.
And they're literally on screen for like 1/5 of the time that Lena is.
The sealed door lies ahead.
Okay. So let's not cross the owl's line of sight because that activated a trap previously. Let's not cross the owl's line of sight. There was a perfectly open other side. That other ruin did not have an owl statue on it. Why would we do this to ourselves?
As you see, one statue is missing. I expect we are meant to replace it as before.
Okay, so let's go pick up the other one and put it down over here. Which will probably also activate a trap since it didn't do it by line of sight just now.
Too simple. There will be some additional defense mechanism.
Well, you're correct, but I wish everybody would stop wishing these things on us. I will say this though, I like that we have a really
Just a
big
moment.
variety of different
There are words
DPSs
carved into the stone.
in this instance. Like, we have 4 different kinds of DPSs and a healer here. It just makes it more interesting, I guess. Because we have a Dragoon,
Would disturb
we have a ninja, we have a black mage, and we have a
slumber.
bard, and then a white mage.
Shall instead waken the beast.
Stola, you're straining yourself to read this thing. You can't fucking see. Just tell me to read it already. Oh no.
What? But I only... What is happening?
Well, whatever you do, don't drop the owl statue. We need it. Probably to stop this thing.
Oh, good.
Oh no, it lives!
Of course it lives.
Oh.
Why wouldn't it?
Why am I not surprised?
Because it would be too easy if it didn't. Where did you get stuck at anyway? Are you running from another boulder? Oh, well, there goes the owl statue. Farewell, cruel world! Will you take me to a place where I can watch Rory getting chased by boulders? No, this isn't the audience's row. This is an arena, which means I'm gonna have to kill the Sphinx. Great. Good luck, you 4. Boss fight, and I'm over here. Oh, never mind, he turned you into Alpha's cards. Fun. Shall we play a game? I'll have you know I was pretty good at the reaction commands in this boss fight in Kingdom Hearts 2. I can see that. So what would you have in exchange for their souls? Okay. Chicken's in the oven, you missed lifeblood leaving. He basically just said he was tired, so there you go. No big deal. Answer me these questions 3. What is your name? What is your quest? What is your favorite color? Deft of paw, with kin do I vie, though sought apart, betterment of the whole do our efforts decry. What am I? Deft of paw, with kin do I vie, though sought apart, betterment of the whole do our efforts descry. What am I? So that sounds like something that hunts in a pack, and that would be a Kawuro. I think. We're gonna find out. 'Twas the Oppo Oppo. Okay. That's fine. So who am I not getting back forever? Oh, okay. Goodbye, Olmet. I think if you make mistakes here, it makes the instance harder. But I could be wrong. I'm okay with it being harder. Okay, this one travels in pack. See, the efforts of... with kin do I vie threw me off in this case. I was thinking, oh, okay, it's a wolf. But in this case, it is a wolf because they travel with pack and have a fearsome fang. So, this one's a wolf. Okay, so who do I get back? And how do I get Olmet back? Well, I guess at least I got the healer back. That's nice. On my belly do I crawl, by my strength does prosperity reign within our hall. Screet! Screet! I think they might give you hints, too, if you're not 100% sure about these. Like, if you get more people back, they'll tell you, like, give you ideas. But, anyway. It's the serpent. What if I didn't get Stola back? Would she ever forgive me? Actually, I desire Olmet's soul because I'd like to believe she's not consigned to the void forevermore. Test of mind and memory. Choose wisely and you may all yet go free. Okay. That sounds like a good idea. Twixt these talismans, hide friend and foe. Choose your companions well, or sorrow no. For your comrades from the talismans. Oh, wrong talisman. Well, I can't see. what's what here? Do you guys have any hints? Some meaning to their arrangement. This is fun, but you didn't actually like it. I'm not sure if there's a way to tell with this one, honestly. Like, I could look at the cards, I guess, but they look like they're all the same to me. Any hints, Helmet? I'm gonna guess no. I must choose carefully. Yeah, that's not a hint. Where were the cards last round? Over there. So that doesn't help me. Because they were in an entirely different location last round. I think Stola's was pushed further back, though. So maybe it was back row on the left. Okay, well, there's Almet. She was pushed back further, too, though. So maybe Stola's over here. Okay, I have 2 Almets. That's good. It doesn't help me with Stola, though, I guess. I mean, I guess it's just a matching game, right? So, that's a monster. Draw, monster card. Okay. Well, that I can take care of. It's too bad I don't have my futon, but...
No mess.
There we go. Okay, well, we know that she's not in that one. Okay, there's one Stola. And that's a monster card. Okay. Well, we found one Stola, at least. So that means we've got a 50-50 shot of finding the next one, so... Okay, so now we know where she is. Got it. I feel like I'm playing the Snowcraft minigame all over again. Well, we got her back, so that's good. The 5 of us together again. And what is the other trial that we must pass? Defeat the Sphinx, right? Yeah, I kind of figured that was what was going to happen. Alright, ladies. Time to beat the shit out of the Sphinx, then. Oh, I'm not going to take a drink yet, because he's about to beat my ass. Oh, good. My futon lasted through the cutscene. Fantastic. Defeat the Huaca. We don't go back to Final Fantasy II until you play it. We will, don't worry. I'm just gonna do this. The Touch of Shadow. That sounds bad. Okay, that's fine.
How did I start this instance after you, but I'm already at 50% of the boss fight?
Okay. I wonder if I should stand closer to them so I can actually get a heal. Because she's still casting heals, but she's not hitting me with them, so I'm just gonna... Time afar.
Here I come.
I've been stunned. Wow. I've been home ganged by something. Thanks for taking these tethers. They're teaching me how to do it so that I can do it later. So basically you have to turn them away from the person in fetters. So pretty soon they'll have me do it instead. Oh no, they got the healer!
They got the healer!
During my Huton window. Well, I still got the ice shurikens off, so it doesn't matter. Most impressive, but you're not a Jedi yet. I hope it does. For our sake.
I will not hold back.
I'll feint this. Not bad. Next time I I see it. I'll use Shadeshift. Thank you for the Ronkin Medica. I should be standing with them, but aw, I'm not in melee range. Stola, you need to not run directly into the AoEs, please. I'm trying to get this instant done sometime today. Oh, we're poisoned. That's not good. Well, I'm not worried about the slime. I'm worried about them just continuously spawning until we get the Guardian. So. Although, to be fair, the Huaka is basically dead, so. The Bomb of Disgrace. I probably could have killed him by staying in there, but not much of a riddle, Sphinx. Sorry to say it. Leave the trials threshold. Okay, off I go. To find the secrets of the Asians, I suppose. I've entered a sanctuary somehow, so they're probably going to teleport me back to Fano after this is done.
Fair enough.
Well, that was not very harrowing, to be honest. The boulder was a lot worse. Speaking of which, where's Rory?
It seems the magics have returned us. How polite. Now, what have we learned?
Not to touch things.
Rory falling directly in front of you.
Hello.
And now we can open the door.
You missed the Snowcraft minigame.
Yeah, I definitely noticed it, because the whole temple filled up with poison. You have any idea how hard it is to run from a boulder while there's nothing but poison in the air?
You know, I probably should invent you a rebreather. I feel like if we didn't have the blessing
should invent me a rebreather.
I was gonna say, I feel like if we didn't have the blessing of water, I would have gotten on that a lot faster.
He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber.
So what hero rests in here? Well, only one way to find out. Excuse me. Well, there's another mural of a dude with a mace. I can't really tell. It's hard to see.
A tomb, just as I thought. Befitting a hero.
Let's not open the coffin, though, or the sarcophagus, because that's how cursed shit starts happening.
Could it be the Archmage Tiuna?
So maybe this is your folk hero?
A legendary hero of Ronka, as you surmised. The tales tell of how she smote entire armies with a single incantation, so potent was her spellcraft. Though she ever fought in the name of peace.
Did she, if she smote entire armies with a single... Like, they wouldn't have said that unless it happened, right? Huh.
I thought them no more than tales. To think she really existed.
Well, we found their ancient folk hero.
I, for one, always believed.
That's cool. I'm trying to remember if this actually comes up again or not. I don't think it does.
Of fallen stars, great power awakens.
You could just let me read that, so you don't have to strain yourself.
It is said she could see truths long lost, and hear the voices of men's hearts.
So she had the echo, then? Huh. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Heidelin can bless anything from any of the shards, just the same as she can in the source, so...
None of this is mere coincidence.
Well, yeah, the story writers wrote this precisely so that we would find it. Is that a revelation to you, Stola?
And in both this world and the source, we find individuals within whom a mysterious power awakened at the sight.
Are you talking about the Battle of Cartano? Because there were a lot of showering stars then.
Now, however, I believe we might.
Although they weren't stars so much as shards of Dalamud, but, you know.
Does the scene depicted here not resemble the one we saw when we first ventured into the Katana Ravel?
I'm surprised you remember that, considering you can't see
Moreover,
either one of
does it
these
not recall
things.
that which Emmett Selk invited us to witness in Amarot?
I mean, there were stars falling at the time, yeah. Are you trying to tell me that was where the first echo happened? I'm not sure I believe that, considering the Ascians didn't need the echo. They could just create memories of the past with their magic.
If, as the Exarch's research suggests, soul and mind share a fragile yet profound bond, might it not be possible for an event to leave such a deep imprint upon the soul that it could be perceived eons later, given a suitable trigger?
Yeah, but that would only work for certain people.
The echo defies explanation by conventional etherological theory, or shall we say modern etherological theory.
Well, that's because it's almost like time travel, so it's kind of difficult to discern. But to be fair, we've time traveled already, so...
But if it is a power that once belonged to the ancients, to souls yet undivided...
What?
It would seem I have entered the realm of pure speculation, and I call myself a scholar.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. You gotta pull yourself back from
I
it.
shall refrain from making any further wild claims until such time as I have evidence.
This is the developers saying, we're gonna tell you all about this later. My deafening silence should tell you how much they said about it later.
I cannot choose but be reminded of our
My
experience.
deafening silence.
It was a bit of a sight, wasn't it?
Remember us.
Yeah, that's the part I'm trying to figure out because I still can't remember who told me that. It's like a blank space in my memory. It's okay. If I don't dwell on it, eventually it'll come back to me.
Not lived.
That has no meaning
We have
anymore.
always protected the tales of Ronka, just as we have protected this place. But we are mindful of what our mothers taught us.
Because we so often live history at this point that it's almost second nature.
We see the past through our own eyes, and speak of it with our own words. Thus do we come to understand it in our own way. But this is not the same as remembering.
That's true. Because it's colored by your influence, your
mothers were
opinion.
wise. Though we witnessed the final days, our impressions cannot fail to be colored by our own experiences and expectations. Those who lived through it would have perceived the event quite differently.
And let's not forget that our impression of the final days was not only colored by our own expectations, but also colored by what Emmett remembered of the final days. So it was colored by two separate opinions, so it could have been embellished to hell and back. It could have been a fart in the wind for all we know.
We must bear in mind that it is no simple matter to keep the truth alive, or it will die with Emmett Selk and his kin.
I'd kind of rather it did, honestly. I mean, I'm not all for repeating the mistakes of the past, but at some point, if the Ascians aren't going to pass their knowledge on for the purpose of the good of all people,
Fana will serve similarly well as a venue for our contemplations.
why not just say fuck them and move on? Anyway, we're speculating. Let's move on. Incidentally, since the mention of Final Fantasy II is still in my chat, my buddy Frank has always been talking about at some point playing Final Fantasy II for himself. He's played it before, but he's never finished it, which is precisely like I was before I went back and learned every mechanic known to man within the game, even though there's still rocks that I have yet to overturn in the game itself. There's still knowledge I don't know about it. But he's always talked about playing Final Fantasy II, and one day he said, no, when I figure out when I'm going to play it, I'm going to have you guest star on a couple of the episodes so you can teach me how to play it. I was like, okay, cool, man. So that might be coming up at some point soon. Well, probably not soon. He's not done with his Pokemon Crystal Nuzlocke or Fire Emblem Path of Radiance yet, so... I think when either one of those projects are done, that's when he'll start thinking about it. But right, because it's colored by the expectations of the people who learn the story. Yeah, but I wouldn't blame you for embellishing a little bit. It seems to happen a lot when it comes to stories like this. Maybe write it down instead of doing it orally. And then keep the books. And again, after all of this, we had a perfect opportunity to tell them, yeah, we're kind of not the allies of Ronka. And we didn't. They just continue to think that. We continue to lie to them. It's like, can we stop with this? This is not hero behavior. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can go to Slitherbell. Stretch break?
Yep.
You know, Stola, you don't have to walk to Slitherbow. You could just teleport like I am at the moment. And I just realized we're not in a party, so you're not going to get that teleport.
That's why I was staring at you that whole time like,
yeah,
how dare you.
I didn't. I was like, it was ticking in my brain, and then the alarm clock went off just as I teleported away.
Oh, you motherfucker!
Runa really wants
we're
Y'shtola to eat his cooking, and he will just... Okay, I was going to say, I don't think he's ever going to get what he wants.
Let the man dream.
Okay, so what's your work? You need me to help you clean your room? Like, at this point, this is almost insulting, the fact that they're forcing me to do this busy work. Like, I understand that Beck Lug and the Exarch need to do their shit, but, like, I'd much rather be helping them figure out the spirit vessel. Anyway.
It's better than him murdering the local wildlife.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Hang on. I can't believe I managed to double-click on you before you left my screen.
Extremely powerful.
Asgeir, I need a broom. She is not going to enchant it to fly with it, which I'm kind of disappointed about. A perfect broom to swish swish a ree. I'm not sure I'm the correct person to be saying that because I don't have PTSD from the Grand Cosmos. Also, you should get the sweep emote from doing this quest. This is the perfect time to give it to you. And they don't. So what are you going to do with it? Yeah, because usually Master Matoya uses brooms for other things, doesn't she? What are you actually going to be cleaning? Oh. You are actually going to be cleaning. It's just you're going to use the broom to finish the job. You've cleaned before, but you've never cleaned enough. Alright then, so what are the magic words this time? Do we say bibbidi bobbidi boo or papara papa? Yeah, I'm gonna say you're gonna have to incant it, aren't you? But dust is eternal. You just condemned this broom to a fate worse than death. There will never not be dust.
Well, at least it's not completely sentient.
I almost feel worse for it because it can't think about the fact that it's a slave for eternity. I mean, I think she'd like to know that you're following in her footsteps. I suppose. What does Runar think is happening in here right now?
A fantastic question.
I mean, surely he is used to being cuckolded at this point, right? Like, she evidently has no intention to ever reciprocate on his feelings.
Well, at least she isn't calling him little son.
In this patch. Yeah, well, she could be saying that, yeah. She destroyed a man with that.
I have never seen a man more broken.
He was pretty fucked up after it, yeah. I don't think he's over
I have never seen a man more destroyed
like, I've seen
my entire life.
Like, I've seen plenty of Qatari at the Dome and Enclave since I moved in over there, and I have not seen him since. I feel like he's still in his quarters sulking.
The lights off.
Not a little son. No.
Why am I imagining him going from sulking in his room, mumbling, "I'm not a little son," to beating the shit out of a practice dummy, going, "I am not a little son." His screams of pain and misery heard all throughout the Azim's steppe, like a howling ghoul.
Something like that.
And meanwhile, the moon chick that's there is just laughing every time it happens. Every night, filled with laughter.
Probably. Oh, look, the twins and Urian J are here. Well, that's because you're not a good tracker. We should have had Reen do it. Oh, yeah, right. She's in the empty. They relegated her to side quests forever. It's a shame.
Unrelated. That little sun gag. Oh, he does it in Endwalker. It gets so much worse for him. They bring it back.
Oh no. Speaking of oh no, he's been running around to other towns telling people to become warriors of light. Okay, but what good does that do him? He's not telling them what to do. He's just telling them to be warriors of light. Like, what? That'll mean different things to different people, right? Depending on their situation and their lot in life.
Why am I imagining that in the webcomic he's just running around telling people to run around, adventure, explore ruinous caves, kill monsters, and Jimmy is just progressively getting more and more angry?
Well, I would be more and more angry because I failed to kill this guy because of Graha, and now it's coming back to haunt me.
To be fair,
this is bullshit.
You didn't have any Orsight with you when you were in the empty.
I'm sure Relbon could have found some if I called him on a link pearl in between his respawns at some point. I could have done that all day. And then I got seriously injured. And
How do you think I feel? I couldn't even kill him.
Yeah, but that's because...
At least you were close.
Yeah, but that's a different story now. Our power levels are almost equal, and frankly, that scares me because I know things that Rory doesn't at this point. I guess it doesn't scare me. It just means she's going to be stronger than me when we all get back to the source. And that's fine.
Fighting.
And that's fine. She's biding her time for the point where she becomes the protagonist and I just become the secondary.
Always what she's wanted.
He's going to come here and try to tell these people, the people of Slitherbow who would look at him telling them to be a warrior of light and would laugh at him because they're worshippers of darkness. He's going to come here. Is that a good idea? It doesn't seem like a good idea. Anyway, that's why Alice wasn't here, is because she was taking care of Halric and the rest. She's practicing for when she gets back to Gabu. So find and kill the last remaining Sin Eater of Slitherbow. How many hours do we have to wait for the double S rank to spawn here? And what hoops do I have to jump through to even have a chance of it spawning? Because all the S ranks are related in this zone, and if you kill them, there are certain conditions that may trigger another S rank to spawn. I call it a double S rank. It's not really. It's just another S rank, but it's a Sin Eater. So that's why they're not truly dead, because they were stupid enough to make Sin Eaters rare games in this one. But whatever. Sorry to say it, Runar, but that stew is going to have to wait. I guess he's going to keep it warm somehow. Probably from this roaring fire. Let's hope we actually go back to Slitherbow to enjoy the stew. I know we won't, but I hope for the poor guy. But where will we find the Sin Eater and Ardbert's flesh bag of a person out here in the Raktika Greatwood? And what cooking tips can I give to Runar in the absence of my friends while they go look for it? Because I'm certainly going back into town instead of continuing with this. We'll find out the answer to both of these questions on the next episode of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, the Stream Edition, which will be happening on Friday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll, like I said, be doing 2 dungeons at that point as well.
Correct.
We will be... The next dungeon for patch 5.2 is coming up in, like, I think about 2 or 3 quests. Not 100% sure, but I think so. And then I'm doing 1 dungeon in between patches 5.2 and 5.3. So... And that's the one Cole's been looking forward to.
Yup!
We'll talk about it on Friday. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. I will see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will be on Friday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, everybody, take care and have a good one.
What?
I was going to say come over here and sit by the fire so you could sample some of Runar's stew, but you literally already logged out.
I was gone, bro.
It's okay.
No memory in the wind.
It's okay. More for me and Interceptor to enjoy, and give him constructive criticism for when Ishtola promptly spurns his advances again for the 7,000th time. Poor guy.